Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 32nd edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live Call-In Show right here on Alabama The Voice College Football, where Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports and I take your calls all right here on Alabama The Voice College Football. No worries, Jeffrey has been held up at work, but he will be right there in a little bit. And I can tell you right now, it's going to be a wild ride tonight because we'll be discussing our take on Nick Saban's interview on the Paul Feinbaum show, where the weekend's full of surprises. We'll be going over a little bit about Xavier Griffith. Will he commit to Alabama? Tune in for more. And we got a hello, everyone, from the Godfather of the SEC. What is up, good buddy? Thank you for tuning in, man. We appreciate it. And it's, 32nd edition. I mean, it's hard to believe. It is hard to believe, man. And we got Byron Walker coming in here saying Chris the Little Birdie is saying Keelan Russell is moving up the ladder. Yeah, he might say that. But I'll tell you what else is moving up the ladder. The YouTube memberships of Alabama The Voice College Football, where we have the Crimson Faithful memberships for $2.99 a month. You can become a Crimson Faithful member, and in return, you get a loyalty badge next to your name, and you get a custom emoji to use in the comment section and in the live chat, and you get a member shout out, like our good buddy Godfather of the SEC, for example. He gets a shout out every time he comments in the live chat and in the comment section. For $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban disciple, and you can have priority replies to comments and access to a monthly hangout with yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports, Coach Burtz, Brady Quoto from the Alabama Primetime Live Show, and Manny Wilson from the Alabama Primetime Live Show. And here's the big one, the Bear Bryant Legends membership. You can connect on social media with each of us, but most importantly, you can give out content requests of any kind, and neither rain, nor sleet, nor snow, nor bad weather of any kind will put a stop to us from fulfilling your content request on Alabama at the Voice of College Football. I can tell you right now, you're going to love it. And we've got the YouTube membership invite in the chat. So if you want to come on in and become a YouTube member, here it is. It's an open invitation. And where do we find? There we go. Check out the Voice of College Football website, where there's magic all over the place. Where we got our writers, Matt Zemek, Leanne Herring, Alec Keyser, making that magic on the writing team. Got it all. Our guy, John D'Animo, part of that writing team. And you got all your favorite hosts from the Voice College Football. You got Ben. You got Cam Underwood. You got Chad and Tierney. You got myself. You got Jeffrey, Coach Burtz, Cameron Honesty. All your favorite hosts. All right here on Alabama at the Voice of College Football. And all the other channels at the Voice College Football. All right there in the host directory. And here's the show lineup. You got the Nebraska call-in show that happened early today. We'd like to dedicate it to our buddy Justin. He has been going through some sad stuff with his puppy dog. So be sure to, when you see him on Instagram and Twitter, make sure you let him know. Yeah. Thinking about you. Sorry you lost your puppy dog. We're praying for you. But I can tell you right now, Justin and Brian create that magic on Nebraska at the Voice College Football. You got TJ and Johnny Olden on the Michigan Call-In Show. You got Garrison and Ryan Stanos bringing that magic on the Ohio State Call-In Show. And, of course, you got me and Jeffrey bringing that magic. But the magic can't be done without you, because all of you in the chat are making this happen. You make awesomeness happen All of you do. All of you. And of course, there's the list of channels. And if your team's not there yet, don't worry. It'll be added. I promise you that. We will get your team that is not added on there yet. There's the forum discussion of each team in the SEC Big 10. The ACC Big 12 will be added. No worries. The ACC teams be added. The Big 12 teams be added. And also, oh, you're good, Byron. You're good buddy. But yeah, you will see Notre Dame on there. I promise you that. You're going to see them all. You're going to love what the forum discussions bring on the Voice of College Football. And there's the news articles. Matt Zimick, Leanne Herring, Brooks White, bringing that magic. All right there on the Voice of College Football. I can tell you right now, you'll love what the Voice of College Football website is bringing. So what I'm going to do is put it in the chat. So here we go. So we had some huge news from this week. This is from yesterday, of course. And it's Mr. Xavier Griffin decommitting from the USC Trojans. What does it mean for Alabama? Well, a lot of good things. Because luckily, he's a native of Alabama. He grew up in Huntsville. He attends Gainesville High School in Georgia. 5-star recruit for 2026. He's constantly shared that he feels like a top target to the Crimson Tide. Alabama is recruiting the 5-star to play Wolf linebacker under Christian Robinson. The position calls for the linebacker to be effective at getting to the QB while rushing from the edge, play sideline to sideline and drop back, and coverage to defend the pass in certain situations. These are all strong parts of Griffin's game. And here's a little magic that you're going to see from Xavier Griffin. Here we go. Ooh, not today. Nope. Sorry. Ooh. Here we go. Here we go. And we got our first caller of the night. We got Bama Richie on the line. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Hey, not too bad. Are you hosting the show by yourself?
At the moment, but Jeffrey's gonna be coming in just a little bit. I think he got held up at work, but he's coming back. He's gonna be coming in.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Here we go, man. How have you been doing this week, good buddy?
Not too bad. Just getting ready for the season and things. And you didn't get to join us for my brother Pete's show tonight, but it was we were talking about the quarterback race at Bama for this coming up season a little bit, and I was telling them that just because they said that if the game started last couple weeks ago, we all heard the Grub news that. Hey, what's up, Godfather? Appreciate you, my guy. Just because the Grubs had came out and said that they'd start Simpson, they used to say that all the time throughout the years that Saban would have a guy in mind, and I don't know how the bore is because it's a different deal, but he used to always come out and say it's a race. It may have a guy in mind, but it's never really given. So it's very interesting. I'll go ahead and say that Simpson. So for those that don't know, Simpson can come back to college after this year. Now, I don't think he should come back to Bama, unfortunately. I think he should transfer out. And that's a bold statement, but you have to look at, you don't want to lose another 5-star quarterback and Keelan Russell. And we lost Julian saying to Ohio State, but you get that because he only committed under Saban, so you can't be disappointed with that. Now it's DeBoer's team, so now he's bringing in his guys and working his magic to try to get us back to where we should be. So I think we're in great shape in that regard. But we'll just have to see what happens. But I'm excited for what's to come and things like that. And, yeah, and excited, but I'm just waiting on the call back or the message back from school. So yeah, Byron said Simpson has 2 years eligibility at Bama. Yeah, so here's the thing: he's a as redshirt what sophomore, so he can come back, but but to Byron, your point, does he come back? Because does that force Keelan to leave us again? Because Keelan wants to start, and they didn't bring him in as a five, as if he wasn't going to be at least looked at to potentially grab the reins. Now, our first game of the season is against FSU, right? It's a 2:30 game, 3:30 Eastern time. Let's say, for example, we route FSU. Not saying it's going to happen because this is a way different FSU team. Let's say we start beating them pretty soundly. Does Russell come in the game, and if so, does he bring the same kind of firepower that Simpson is? Because I keep hearing that Simpson will start, but the question is, you know, what do you do with Russell? So that's my question to you. What do you think it's going to happen? I've said it multiple times, but I just am curious what you think about that.
Oof. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know who'll be the star, but I think we'll have more of an answer by the end of fall camp. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I do too. I know Mac will definitely be leaving the program because he's never going to beat out Simpson or Russell. And we got the 2026 kid from what I think he's from Texas, the other quarterback they signed. That he's verbally committed. He hasn't signed any paperwork because they don't even know if he's going to he wants to play as well. He's going to shake up the quarterback room, but I still think that Simpson should go. I only say this because of Russell being here. If Russell was not with us and it was Simpson's team, I would say Simpson should stay all day. But my biggest concern is you signed Russell. He's already committed. He signed the paperwork. He looked okay in the spring game, but I don't like I say I don't go. I'm not going to a spring game again. It was a controlled practice to me. If you follow my guy Eric Blackenberry, he's on big on TikTok, and he posted the thing that said this year's spring game was more of a controlled practice, and I agree with that. Last year when I went with DeBoer as his first year with our program, I didn't really like a lot of what I saw because I was shammed. Because I thought a lot of the players did well in the spring game, but throughout the season they were non-existent, and that's kind of why I don't know if I'll go back to another practice spring game, as you call it, but it's still exciting for those that show up.
Oh yeah, because like I would like to go to a spring game. That would be pretty cool. But
It's
we'll wait and
definitely
see what
exciting.
happens. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's fun. It really is. But I don't, and it's free. But again, if you don't live in the Alabama area, which for me, I don't want to sit. It was a little bit of a waste of money because I had to pay for parking, which was almost $40. I had to pay for a hotel room. Granted, I got to see a high speed chase on the strip, so I thought that was kind of funny. But other than that, I mean, I got enough, I can say. It wasn't like I was like, wow, we're in for a treat. I still had questions. And they didn't show the same love for the board that they did for Saban either when they did like the coach's introduction. And that was sad because I will say this: the coach's lunch, the luncheon for the coach was done by Full Moon. If you've ever eaten Full Moon barbecue, and I was a bit disappointed when we went to Full Moon. Now I'm not gonna say Full Moon's bad because it was. I'll give it a second shot, but again, I'll go to Archibald before I go to Full Moon.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to go there at some point for sure. To Full Moon and all that, and all those places.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, we'll see what happens. And yeah, I just think we're in for a treat. Fall camp's coming up. We'll get to see what the guys prove. We should be a lot more healthier. Um, a new wave with Ryan Grubb, things like that. One thing that is very interesting is I think that if that this year you're now getting to see like now you can't have any excuses as a program because now it's the Boris team. It's not the Saban team that was, the and Coach DeBoer inherited. It's now I can do my recruiting, bring in my guys. I got my feet wet in the SEC. I kind of have an idea of how the SEC runs. He was just at a big golf event with Coach Saban and AJ McCarron, Tommy Tuberville, Charles Barkley was there, some big time names. So now they're starting to give you a bit of, that's a one thing that a lot of people don't know is if you're invited. I think Coach Oates was there as well, our basketball coach. So if you get invited to a golf event like that, they kind of look at you as a little bit high. But another thing that people need to take into consideration is they're not giving DeBoer a lot of the same power that Saban had. And that's only because DeBoer hasn't won us anything to be I know it's one season, but and Saban didn't have the same love as first season. In fact, people thought it was back to the Shula days. But again, I still don't believe that he's going to get the same love. And again, I'm comparing two different coaches. A guy that's won at every program he's been at, and a guy and Coach Saban that was successful at two SEC programs, winning championships, LSU and our program. But I think that Coach DeBoer's long way, because a guy asked me this today, checks into one of my units at work, and the couple asked me, so what do you think about Coach DeBoer? I say he's got a lot to prove. She says, do you think 9-3 was a bad season? I said, no. I said, because we still went to a bowl game, and I don't think the bowl game means anything. I said the same thing if Michigan would have lost. It wouldn't have meant anything to them. Yeah, you want to win and get the bowl game hat and lift up the bowl game trophy, but I don't assess a bowl game as being it's just another game that you make money off of because you got 7 wins in a season or 6 wins in a season to be able to get. In our case, we were 9-3, but I still don't think that bowl game. So this is going to be okay. You have a year to do it. You got a pretty what we prove. So there's no room for excuses. I feel like.
Yeah, and Byron, I remember where he was saying a little while ago, no telling on the money we spent on Keelan Russell. He's not going to sit on the bench.
I'll
Oh,
explain. I'll give you a take on that, Byron. You pose a very good take because the money we spent on Keelan Russell,
uh-oh.
like, oh, here we are. Pardon me. So the money we spent on Keelan Russell is nothing compared to what Tennessee gave Nico Imaliava. Nico shot himself in the foot. I would have been comfortable where I am. Now, maybe he got cold feet because I had someone explain to me that being from the West Coast and being of his descent, like DJU, I think when you move, and I agree with the take she made of version of when because she's of that descent as well. And if you're not following Carol Bucks on X, please give her a follow. She's one of my favorite people. She's a big Buckeyes fan and a good part of the Buckeyes community. She gave the assessment that I agree with full heartedly. When you play in the West Coast like he did in California, that's all you know. I get that he tried to run the Tua route and go to an SEC school and get the job done. And he had a very good freshman season. I'm not going to discredit that. But the problem and the reason I bring him up in comparison to Russell is this. When you pay a top quarterback, in my opinion, you are not going to sit the guy. So, and Byron, your case, I don't believe that you're not gonna sit Russell by any means, because you're gonna sit back and look like a fool not to play the guy. Now, I go back to Julian saying, in his defense, you were gonna pay him a hefty amount of money because he was a 5-star quarterback coming out of Carlsbad Carlsbad, California, and they didn't just throw his high school games on ESPN for no reason. They were the real deal. They're one of the top programs in California in terms of schools in the country over there. So again, I'm not going to sit back and say that Nico and Russell are the same quarterback, but I'm just getting to a point that when you pay a top-rated quarterback, you look like a fool if you don't play the guy. And I said that to one of my other Bama guys on TikTok. He said, well, yeah, but what if Ty Simpson elects to stay at Bama and he has a good season? It's like, yeah, but again, Ty Simpson knows what he's up against, because that's what the board told him last season. And if Simpson was anything better than Milroe, Simpson would have played. Now we got what we got from the USF game, not this past season with the board, but under Saban, where they threw in Tyler Buckner. Now, that the only reason they did that was because Tommy Rees was the OC, and they wanted to try to see that the two of them have what it took, because it was player and coach from Notre Dame, and you saw what disaster that was. In Milroe, and I'm going to give this take in a way that I don't want it to sound like terrible, but the whole deal on Milroe was benched. That to me is a little bit far fetched, because Milroe, he was told he had a little bit of an ego problem. I've heard he had a little bit of a self problem, like something. But Milroe, from what he did after the what they call benching, and I don't want to say it was a benching. Milroe did not take that lightly, and that's why he looked better. Of course, he was under Coach Saban, and you got what you got. But if Simpson was the answer, and I think that's one mistake that Saban learned from, was that I should have played Simpson, because when he came in after they finally realized it was time to pull Buckner, that's when you started seeing, okay, maybe this kid can play. But if Simpson was the answer, he would have played this past season. And I said it multiple times. When you pay a quarterback like they gave Milroe the contract, they gave it to Keelan, you don't want to look. And I said the same thing about Florida State and DJU. The reason why he was never benched at any stretch is you look like a fool of a university if you pay a guy and he's not the answer, because you wasted a bunch of money. Same thing with Milroe. Milroe had splashes, Georgia, LSU, but those games that were, I call trap games, like going up the Norman and things, you don't want to look like. So Byron's take is correct. You're not going to you're not going to pay a guy a hefty amount of change and sit on the bench and go, well, we screwed up and Simpson's our guy and we're going to ride Simpson. It doesn't matter. Loyalty, like I said, I thought Milroe was a great teammate, but then I sat back and said, loyalty doesn't win you games. Loyalty doesn't get you to a playoff game and get you looked at as wow. So again, Milroe was never the worst quarterback we ever had, but again, you're not going to pay Keelan Russell to sit the bench. It's not going to happen. Simpson, if he decides to stay in college, which I think he should, because if he goes to the draft, you're only going to see 1 year of Simpson. Hard to be able to put him in a conversation of talent because of so many quarterbacks in this next draft. But again, I think Simpson, and the rumor has it, and things that people need to understand, UT Martin is where his dad coaches. So if he decides to leave us, he could go to UT for some reason. It's a smaller program, but he wouldn't have to worry about looking like a fool because he's playing competition that's the UT Martin's competition. So I agree with that take on Byron. You're not going to sit Keelan for nothing.
Agreed. Agreed. And we'll definitely go over this in a little bit, Byron. But Yeah, I saw that about Alabama offering Matt Ponatoski and Jet Tamala, Jets from Iowa State. It's like, wow. Wait, it's like,
Yeah, so my take on that is they brought those guys in to try to see if they're anything, if they can to compete. Now, the problem is they want Russell. I'll leave it at this: they want Russell to be don't
uh-oh.
take over the program. But again, you want someone that's going to get you to a playoff game and a championship, and all the pieces have to come together. I will go ahead and say this. And if you rank the quarterbacks that we've had at Bama, and Jeffrey made this great take, and someone commented last year, or it's not last year, last show, about AJ McCarron, my favorite quarterback we've had at Bama. He wasn't the better compared to Tua, Hurts, and Bryce Young. He's probably fourth on that chart if you're talking those three quarterbacks, and that's in no order. But again, again, Keelan Russell wants to be that guy, and so he didn't just commit to Bama when he had other options, and that's the thing. Me and my brother Paulie that we did the SEC show with on Tuesdays, when it was football season, he had asked me because of the combine coming up for the NFL, does Milroe where does Milrose stay or does he go to the pros? And I said he goes to the pros because he knows what he's up against in terms of the quarterback competition this year being weaker compared to this next class. Now, they brought these two quarterbacks in because they want to be able to have some sort of competition, because if Simpson leaves, you need a backup quarterback in case something happens. So I can see that. But these guys coming into Bama don't need to start getting their hopes up that they're going to start for us unless they're just absolutely the guy. Because AJ McCarron was only see, another thing too is AJ was guaranteed the job just because they had brought him in to be the next man up, and he knew that. The guys like Jameis Winston, who could have signed with us from Hueytown but went to Florida State. He went to Florida State for a few reasons. And the book I'm reading, I didn't even know this, he didn't think he'd be able to have the same kind of fan interaction at Bama that he did at FSU. Like, if he wanted to sign an autograph, see, a lot of people think it's because he wasn't going to start for us. Saban already said if you trust in the process, you'll start. But that's not what he wanted. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, because I have no idea. But what if Winston would have played for us at Bama? What was the projection of the deal? I don't know if we win a national championship because we'd have to put everything together. And Florida State's resume that year was it was great. But I will go ahead and say this. If he would have played for us, it would have been very interesting. AJ trusted the process after McElroy, and he was granted the job. Now, granted, he was juggling playing baseball as well, and Coach Saban told McCarron, "You're going to either play football or baseball," because he was like, Winston. They told Winston the same thing. "You're not going to play football and baseball for me, because if you throw out your arm in baseball, you're not going to be able to go out on a football field and have the same kind of arm." Saban never liked a multi-sport athlete. See, now a lot of people say to themselves, well, AJ was doing the same thing as Winston. He played baseball as a relief pitcher to strengthen his arm for football. No, 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 no. You either are going to put your all into football or you're all into baseball. And the thing is it all it takes is for one bad throw when you're having Tommy TJ surgery, Tommy John surgery, or you get a bone bruise or something, and your team's getting ready to go play in a big time football game for all the chips. So
And our co-host is finally arrived. He has been dealing with all that traffic, man. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing all right, Jackson. Sorry I'm late. Just it is what it is. I thought I was going to be able to make it on time, but I'm here. So 30 minutes late is better than nothing, and hopefully the rest of the show will be Be a lot of fun. What have you guys been talking about so far?
Oh, we've been talking a little bit about the QB battle. We've been talking about this little storyline. And we've been Godfather is happy. There we go. Jeffrey is here.
Thanks, Godfather. I appreciate it.
Oh man.
So I had brought up to Jeffrey or to Jackson about they didn't just pay Keelan. Well, Byron actually brought it up. They didn't just pay Keelan because we had talked about it on one of our shows for Wager Wire today. We were talking about the quarterback battle for us and Simpson and Russell. And someone said, well, Simpson's eligible to play 2 more seasons in college, even though people think he's going to be one and done. I said I think that Simpson should stay in college because this list of quarterbacks coming out are they're all going to be competing for a draft ranking. I said I think that Simpson should stay in college, and he's I think it either was I can't remember, it was Godfather or Byron that said he's got 2 more years at Bama eligibility left, and I said
Byron.
Yeah, Byron. So anyways, and I said, yeah, but your biggest problem is if he decides to stay at Alabama, do we lose Keelan? And they didn't pay him just to sit the bench. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the modern conundrum in college sports, having to worry about bringing a guy in and whether he's going to stay and be patient. It's just used to not be a problem. I feel like, Alabama just has to do what's best for this season. They can't look at that. I mean, if you lose Russell because he doesn't get to play, then you lose him. But I mean, that should have been communicated at the very beginning. Like, you might not play, like you might play, but you might not. You got to earn the job. And if you don't win it, like, you probably will be the starting quarterback down the road. Doesn't mean you're never going to start. So, I mean, how many quarterbacks in the past, do we see that only played their senior year? I mean, they never played, sat behind somebody, and then started their final season and then went off to the NFL. That happened a ton back in the past. You just don't see it anymore because the patience isn't there. They just want to go to another school. So, I mean, if Todd Simpson's the best quarterback, in my opinion, if they feel that he is, then they need to go with him. And if they lose Russell, they lose Russell. I was an advocate for Russell earlier in the offseason because I thought that Todd Simpson wasn't very good, but they're hyping him up. They're saying Todd Simpson's doing very well. So if he's the best quarterback for this season, then they need to go with him no matter what Russell does. That, like I said, that needed to be communicated with him at the very beginning. Like, you might not start, and hopefully he's okay with that.
Yeah. And I brought up to Jackson the point about what if Jameis Winston would have played for us from Hueytown. And I said that in the book I'm reading, Winston's basic point for not signing with us was because he felt like he wouldn't have that fan interaction. Like, he wanted to sign an autograph. He was able to do it at Florida State versus at our program where Saban may not have allowed a lot of fan interaction. A lot of people say that it's because he wasn't going to start right away. But again, Saban told him if he trusts the process, he would get that playing time the next season, no doubt. But I also said I didn't think that we'd ever win a national championship with Winston because we'd have to tailor the offense towards him. And at FSU, they put up a great resume. But I was curious what you thought about that.
I mean, that's interesting. I mean, definitely we see how, certain quarterbacks don't fit a system and then they're not going to perform well. I mean, Milroe just clearly didn't fit the system this past season, and it pretty much failed. So, I mean, I don't know. That's an interesting thing to think about. I mean, Winston was good, but like you said, he was good for Florida State. And I mean, we don't know what would have happened. I mean, it's revisionist history, but what if we beat Auburn, in that game? Does Florida State win it all that year? I mean, that's something that's been talked about before. Because, I mean, a lot of Jameis Winston's claim to fame was that he won it all with Jimbo Fisher. I mean, I never thought Winston was an elite player in college. He was really good, put up good numbers, but I was not that old back then, but I don't think the ACC was that strong that year, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. I know Clemson hadn't like hit their stride yet. Like they were getting there.
Right back, pardon me.
Clemson was getting there. Miami wasn't good back then. I mean, the ACC wasn't that good that year, right, Jackson?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So I mean, Florida State basically ran the table, and then they played Auburn. And I mean, again, it's revisionist history, but we were probably the better team. Alabama was better than Auburn that year, but we lost. I mean, the kick six happened. So I don't know. I mean, Winston probably wouldn't have been the absolute best fit at all, but I mean, I don't think it would have gone terribly if he played at Bama. But I don't think he'd have won a title.
I agree with the thing for sure. Jackson made a good point. I my personal take on it was like this. It's like the team that FSU had that season was tailored because most everybody was a first round draft pick. The only one that really wasn't was Nick O'Leary, and I'm glad, and I can say it wholeheartedly. Nick O'Leary was not a first round choice, and when Buffalo drafted him, they knew that because he fit a system, and of course now you see what you get. He's not even in the league anymore. The thing I said too was I said it about Russell. It's like AJ McCarron trusted the process. We said it last week. Someone commented and said that he may not have been our best quarterback, but he surely was always there to compete and give his all every single practice. And that's the thing that I wonder, is Russell going to be able to do that? Even if he may not see the field this year, is he willing to stick it out and show that he can be the next guy up? And that's the thing that I think. I know Saban would appreciate it. I don't know if DeBoer's that same guy is the question, because it's a new way. Because there was multiple times that some of these players should have had a stern talking to for some of the poor deal. I remember in the USF game, I kept coming on X and watching people go. I don't know if y'all remember the Wilkin Formby debacle, where they kept saying we need to start Elijah Pritchett, or we need to. And I'm sitting there going, the kid's a freshman, and he's learning, he's getting his feet wet with the starting deal. This is the game you want to see players make mistakes, because if you're playing a bigger program and you make these mistakes, it's going to shoot you even more in the foot. So I that's another thing too that I'm looking to see is it a different scenario because of what, and someone made, I can't remember who made the statement, but somebody said we're not going to, one player on our team said we're not going to have the same season as we did this past year. That's not the Bama way, or we're not, I can't remember who that was. It wasn't Ryan Williams. And it wasn't Mbakwe. It was someone else, and it wasn't Drake Kirkpatrick. It wasn't Kirkpatrick Jr. It was somebody that said we can't afford to have another bad season. So,
yeah, I mean, definitely for Bama standards, it was terrible last year. Most programs would love to be 9-3 all the time, but Alabama being 9-3 is unacceptable considering what we've done the last 20 years. But like I said before, I've said it in the past, it was how they went 9-3. If they had gone 9-3 with very close losses to the best teams on their schedule, it would have been a completely different situation. But the fact that they beat Georgia, showcased what they could do, and then laid 2 eggs against Vandy and Oklahoma, especially the Oklahoma game. I mean, the fact that they lost to Vanderbilt, and that game is not even what cost them from making the playoffs. That's the thing. I mean, the Oklahoma game, what was that? Like, that game right there, they did not try. The defense tried a bit, but the offense was completely trash. And that type of performance under Nick Saban would have never happened, ever. Maybe season 1 when the team was not good yet, yeah. But once 2009 and onward, that type of performance would have never happened. And that's what, honestly, I feel is the most important thing for this next season. I mean, even if we lose 3 games again, which I know for Bama fans, they don't want to see that. But if they lose 3 games and they're competitive the whole time and they barely lose those games and it's just, it's the wrong side of the coin, then I feel like a lot of people would accept that and say this was a better year. Yes, it's still not the Bama standard, but it's how they perform next year or this upcoming season. This past year, they were too inconsistent, and they had multiple games, even in some of their wins, where they just looked bad, absolutely bad. And that cannot happen. That bowl game cannot happen, especially when all those guys played. I mean, they didn't even finish the season on a good note. That's to me the biggest issue that I saw last season. I kept saying it all throughout the year. I'm like, look at the South Carolina game. Stretches of that game where they were just horrid. The Vandy game.
We almost lost that one.
The Oklahoma game was the only one where we just sucked the entire game. But the other games, it was the Georgia game. First half, best team in America. Best team in America. Not one team in America, not even the Buckeyes, were better than Alabama in that first half against Georgia. And then that second half. What was the second half? It was all season. And if you see that this year, then there's going to be problems. DeBoer's he's going to be on he's going to be on fire. His job is going to be burning because you cannot have that type of inconsistency. I hope that don't happen. I want DeBoer to be, his job safe. I hope he's able to turn Bama back into an elite program. I mean, we're still an elite program, but we're not up here anymore. Like, everyone agrees with that we're tier 2 now. It's just the way that it is for now. But to get back to tier 1, you have to be consistently great. Even when you're bad, you're still really darn good. And that's not what we were last year. Our bad was awful last year.
Yeah.
I do got a question. So it kind of made me, I heard it. Where did I hear it? The radio, or I'm trying to remember where I heard it, but Byron just posted it. They invited, I want to say it was on YouTube, someone that brought up that, this one, that Keelan's working out at the Stanfield Quarterback Academy, and it was the one on Ty Simpson. Simpson got invited to the Manning Academy, the passing camp.
Mm.
Does that make you think that? It might be far fetched, but do the Manning brothers think they see something in Simpson to give him an invite to the camp, or are they thinking we need you here to work on your throwing, or I just am curious what you think about that?
I mean, I think it can only most likely be a good thing. I wouldn't look at it as a negative, even if it is him like working on his skills, that his flaws of his game. I mean, it can't hurt to do that. The fact that he's putting in work to try to get better. Same with Russell as well. I think it's good. I think it's healthy for both guys. I mean, like you said, I do think the reason for him going is important. But even if we don't know the exact reason, I still think overall it's a good thing. Because, it's interesting for, a guy like Ty Simpson who's been in college for years to do something like that. That doesn't normally happen. But also you got to remember that he really hasn't ever started. So if they're looking at him like this is his year that he's going to play, it's like, you want to get him as prepared as possible. Because being the starting quarterback at Bama, the amount of scrutiny that you're going to get. I mean, think about if Ty Simpson was the quarterback at Kansas State. It's like, okay, yeah, Kansas State they're an 8-4, 9-3 type of program all the time. But it's like it's not going to be all that big of a deal for Ty Simpson to be elite, right? He just has to go out there and not suck. But at Alabama, you have to be great, because we've had the standard now of quarterbacks recently with Tua and Jalen Hurts and Bryce Young and Mac Jones that have all done incredibly well, that a guy like Milroe, people are just trashing him and saying he's garbage when he literally was a fumble away from winning the national championship 2 years ago. So Ty Simpson, the pressure on him to be good is really, really high, especially considering he has this competition with Russell behind him. But even if he didn't, it's just if he doesn't do well, then, I mean, the entire fan base is going to turn on him. So it's like he's got to be great. He's got to be ready for the moment when he plays later this year, if he's a starter, which it looks like he will. So, like I said, I think this is a good thing to prepare him at the very least for that.
Well, Troy V brings up an excellent point. DeBoer has a history of being a winner. He had the toughest task of following a legend, lost many of the players to the portal. He's bringing in his players and should be fine. Gonna take time. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I agree to that. I'm going to leave it at this, and I'll give you guys something I told someone on Football Foreplay that Jackson's joined us on before. I told an Auburn guy that came in there and just was ragging our program. I said, when you follow up a legend, it is one of the toughest jobs to ever take. When Bear Bryant was left us or retired or stepped down, you had Mike Perkins. Perkins was never going to be the same guy that Bear was. When we lost Gene Stalling, we had, what was it, Mike, was it the boys or Franchione, one of the two. So you bring in, the difference is that DeBoer has been a winner everywhere he's been at. But you're playing in the SEC, and you're the coach of one of the toughest programs, to where a lot of people have a high expectation for us to be the top of the top, and we're like right here to me, because we were shamed by just okay play last season. Just okay. There were stretches where we looked really good and really bad, and I told everyone, if we go up to Norman and lose to Oklahoma, that's our season right there. There's no way that you're going to sit there and convince me that we didn't deserve to be in this playoff. I was even shocked we got the bowl game we did against Michigan and played as bad as we did. But again, it wasn't the same team. So that's the best I have and the last thing I have for the evening. But anything else you got, brothers?
I definitely appreciate you for coming on, Richie. And I mean, always great conversation. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Catch you guys later.
Catch you later, Richie.
See you guys.
Have a great night.
Oh man. Well, it's always fun talking with Alabama Richie.
Oh, absolutely. He always has fantastic insight. Always love chatting it up. And he made a lot of great points. I mean, definitely, you're talking about, DeBoer, again, the pressure is insane, more so than it would be for most coaches. I mean, he knew that taking the job. So it is what it is. He's got the pressure. He's going to have to find a way to overcome the little bit of a rut that we're in. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's insurmountable, but things can snowball if you don't turn, right the ship. And again, no one's expecting. I mean, I'm sure there's some Bama fans, but most of us are not expecting him to be anywhere close to Saban. That's not what we're expecting. But we should be making, now that the playoff has been expanded to 12 teams, we should be making the playoff every year. I mean, practically, like that. That should not, be too much to ask for with the amount of talent that we bring in, the expectations, the standard that we have. So definitely, I think he can do it. But it's just going to be really interesting to see next season how we play night in, like week in and week out. That's what I want to see. I want to see a consistently, high floor for the team. Like when they're playing bad, when they're at their worst is not terrible. That's what you want to see. That's what we grew accustomed to under Nick Saban. And the last year, like I said, our worst was awful. That cannot happen again next season, or we're going to be up for more disappointment.
Agreed. Maybe this little thing from Amazon can help the Crimson Tide. What do you think, Jeffrey?
Definitely. I think it can only help.
There we go.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
That is right. You can shop on Amazon using the link to support the Voice of College Football. You don't need to buy the product display. Doesn't cost you a single penny, and you get the same shopping experience. And you get the link down below.
Troy V's comment about having some patience. I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't disagree. I think the problem, though, is that when you're dealing with a fan base at large, with a team that has the amount of expectations that we do, and you know just as well as we do, Troy, with Ohio State, it's the exact same thing. I remember prior to them winning the national championship, Ohio State, when they lost to Michigan, Ron Day, he should be fired. He should be done. He sucks. Get rid of the guy, right? We all remember this. And then Ohio State wins it all. Now Ron Day's fine. At programs like Ohio State, Georgia, Bama, you know, the elite, you're going to have fans just lose their crap over everything. And I mean, there's nothing we can do. It's not like you can just type on X and be like, yo, Bama fans, do not, lose your patience with Kalen DeBoer. Give him more time. Like, it doesn't matter what me and you say, Jackson, because people are going to do what they're going to do. If Bama goes 9-3 this year, Bama fans are going to be furious.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Even though I've been trying to convey that it's how Bama goes 9-3. If Bama goes 9-3 next year and they look better than last year, I would be pretty much okay with that. But other Alabama fans would be like, nope, not good enough. Nope, should have been at least 10-2, 11-1, not good enough. Let's get rid of them. So yeah. I agree with you, Troy. I'm with you. I am with you 110%. Have patience, but that's just not the way fans are. And two other points, you got John saying everyone else is buying players now. Bama's a thing of the past. I don't necessarily agree with that second point. I don't think Bama's a thing of the past. But that first point is absolutely true.
It's more like Miami is a thing of the past.
Oh yeah, Miami's. I mean, they're dusty, man. I mean, they're like Indiana basketball. I hate to say, I love IU basketball, but they're dusty. But yeah, everyone else is buying players now. Yes, I mean, so you're going up against a lot of money, and like Godfather says, Alabama does not have $40 million like Texas. I mean, it's just the way that it is. So you're not going to get some players. Some players this is all they think about. You know, you're not going to get them. You're just not going to get them. Maybe in the past, Saban might have been able to get them. You're not going to get them. And that's okay. But you have to get players that it's not all about this, or you have to get players that don't demand as much this. You know what I'm saying? I think Alabama, I mean, you still see our recruiting. It's still great. It's not Saban level, but I don't think even Saban would be able to do it. Because unfortunately, I mean, it's hard to not – you can't blame the players. You cannot blame the players for wanting money. I mean, they're going to give it to you. If Texas is going to give you $1 million more to play for them than Bama will, do you blame that guy for going to Texas? I don't. I absolutely do not. I mean, it makes complete 110% sense why that player goes to Texas. I mean, we probably all would if we had the same choice. The problem, though, is does that make it fair for Bama and for every other program? Of course not. It's not fair at all because that guy probably would have gone to Bama or maybe would have gone to Georgia. But if Texas is going to pay more, then they're going to go to Texas. If Oregon pays more, they're going to go to Oregon. I mean, you're seeing guys from Florida, man, go to Oregon. Why are they going to Oregon? Phil Knight. I mean, why else would they go to Oregon? I mean, I hate to rain on Duck fans parade, but I mean, there really was nothing special about Oregon until Phil Knight and Nike just basically propped them up. They didn't have nothing going for them. It was Oregon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Oregon is not an elite program.
No.
Nothing about Oregon is elite. Nothing. Like, absolutely nothing about the University of Oregon is elite in athletics. Nothing. And if somebody names me some obscure sport that they're good in, I don't care about that. I'm talking about football, basketball. They were never elite in anything. But now that money's involved, Oregon, look at what Oregon's doing. So, yeah, I mean, if I don't blame players for going where the universities can pay them the most. But like I said, it does not make it fair to the other programs. But it is what it is. You just have to find a way to go around that. But, yeah, Troy's saying we had dumb fans who wanted to fire a day. Yeah, and I knew Ohio State fans that were not like on the Ron Day needs to be fired train, but oh boy, there were so many of them. And that was insane. But I mean, but then when you look at the NIL and you look at the roster Ohio State assembled, then you kind of understand why they're like, yeah, Ron Day, what's your problem? Like, you literally have probably the best roster in college football. We spent basically the most money in college football, and you can't beat Michigan. So I get why, Ohio State fans were like, fire Ron Day, but then at the same time, it's like, fire Ron Day when he's won 85% of his games, 90% of his games, whatever insane percentage that it is. And outside of Michigan, he practically loses to no one in the Big Ten. So, I mean, and then they ended up winning it all. So, again, they're fine with him. But, I mean, that's just it's where we are at now in college sports. There's no loyalty. There is no patience. And I don't necessarily blame fans and donors for not having patience, because if you're spending your money, just say you're a billionaire, Jackson, and you're spending your money on a program, you're spending your money on Alabama to be good. You're giving them millions of dollars a year for them to pay for their roster to be good in football, and then Kalen DeBoer is giving you 7-5. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah,
because you're spending your money to make them good, and they're giving you 7-5 with the best roster in college football. That is where I understand it, but still, that's why all this money is just befuddled the sport of football and all the other sports out there, to the point where it's like the old rules and the old ways of firing and hiring coaches and player retention are gone. It's all out the window. It's like, give it to me now or you're done. Players are like, you don't give me playing time, I'm leaving. Coach, if you don't win at the rate we want you to win, at the rate that we are giving you money to win, you don't do that, you're gone. And it's just the way it is. But these coaches know that. So, I mean, I used to have pity for them when they got fired. Now it's like you're Jimbo and you get $1 million. They're living the high life when they get fired. So, it's just different.
I think we took the wrong contracts. Like we need to try to be head coaches in the SEC. It
doesn't matter if you get an extension. It just matters if you get fired.
Yeah,
without cause, right? Like, you didn't do anything.
$15 million buyout. There we go.
You did say, on a different note, though, you did say you wanted my Rushmore for receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your Rushmore first before I tell you mine?
Oh, man. I had Cooper. I think I had Julio Jones.
Julio Jones, yeah.
Let's see. I had this was an out of the park. This was like an out of the blue one. I had Ray Perkins on there because, like, I got that nostalgia for 60s.
All right.
David Palmer was on there. And I had on Devontae Smith, and I had Amari Cooper. Hey, I mean, you could add a fifth head, because, I mean, there's going to be a fifth head in Mount Rushmore at some point in our lives.
So I'll say Devontae Smith. I mean, without question. I mean, he came back the extra year, put up more insane stats, and that the touchdown. Obviously, the touchdown reception from Tua to him will live down in Bama infamy forever. So, I mean, he's number one. Julio, he's there. Insane career. Won a title. I probably would have to go with Amari Cooper as well, because, he had a lot of great stats. I mean, yeah, and plus, I mean, I know we're not going NFL career, but he's had a great NFL career as well. Same with Julio Jones, but we're not doing that. But that kind of helps. After that, I mean, the problem is you had the rest of the quartet, right? So you had Devontae Smith, and then the other guys were good too. Judy, Ruggs, and Waddle. All those guys were great, but I felt like they were all kind of outshined by Smith. Smith was the best one, and then the others were just really freaking good as well. So it's kind of hard to put another one of those guys. I mean, out of those other three, Judy would be the closest. I would say Smith, Cooper, Jones, probably Calvin Ridley, and then I'll go with Judy. I'll go with Judy as the fifth. Sorry, no
all
old guys. I mean, I hate it, but their stats are not there.
That's all
It's
right.
kind of hard to pick them when you don't got stats.
There you go. Hey, I mean, is your Mount Rushmore good, buddy?
The thing is our receivers have been way better the last 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, yeah, Ruggs was great. I mean, I hate he messed his life up. I still do. I mean, he was so talented, man, and then just gave it away. Sucks.
Yeah.
But he definitely is close to my Mount Rushmore, but I didn't really want to overload it with that quartet. You literally could make a Mount Rushmore with that quartet. You could if you wanted to. Jameson Williams he's in the top 10-ish, right?
Yeah, he's in our honorable mentions.
Yeah, I don't know how long your honorable mentions it, but I mean, I'd have the other two, Ruggs and Waddle, in my honorable mentions. I would have Jameson Williams there. Mechie, he's definitely fringe, but yeah. So
there you go. And anybody watching this video on Alabama with the Voice College Football, who's on your wide receiver Mount Rushmore? Come on in and comment on your take. And no worries, we've got a post on Alabama with the Voice College Football asking you which position we should cover next.
Yeah, we got a lot more to go. We've done QBs, we've done running backs, we've done receivers. So, I mean, we could do it for the rest of the positions. And think about it, like in the future, you could have a completely new Mount Rushmore. More great players will, I'm sure, arrive into the Bama program that will surpass maybe what these guys have done. So, you never know. It's always changing.
Agreed. Alrighty, it looks like we've got some news, and it's about Xavier Griffin. He decommitted from the USC Trojans. It's like,
That's a common occurrence these days, by the way. USC losing players like all the time.
Well, we know Bolivar is not too happy about it, but it's like he's just not. He's mad. He's getting gray hairs just looking at it. But anywho, so he's a native of Alabama, grew up in Huntsville, attends Gainesville High School in Georgia, and he has consistently shared that he feels like a top target for the Crimson Tide.
I mean, a guy in Alabama playing for USC. I mean, come on. I mean, like, come on. You know where to go. Commit to the Crimson Tide. Come on.
There you go. I mean, hey, we may not have Snoop Dogg, we may not have Will Ferrell, but you're gonna get a little tired of Will Ferrell eventually. Trust me.
Yeah, you go your own way.
And
you see that commercial, right?
Yep. Oh man, he sounded so cringe on that.
Yeah, they did the two Fleetwood Mac songs, and they had the I want to be with you everywhere, but I want to pay with you everywhere, and then they did pay your own way instead of go your own way. It's like, come on, man. Like I mean, whether I don't care if like his singing skills are just bad or if they dramatize how poor it is, but for the commercial, but man, like that's just rough, man.
I mean, he makes good movies, but he's mid. He's just mid.
Yeah, I mean, Elf was good, but I don't know. Yeah.
It's like I probably need to watch Elf, but
Elf is one of those movies they play too much, though. I mean, if you only see it once during the Christmas season, it's okay. But if you see it like 5 times on TV, 5 or 6 times, it can get old.
Hey, I mean, maybe we'll do. Hey, we get like maybe we can get like 20,000. Like maybe we can get like paid to watch that movie. Just be like, boom. It's like. Anywho, so we got the highlight of Xavier Griffin. Here we go. And here to join us is Bert. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good. How you doing tonight?
Fine, dude. Just watching the NBA, and Yeah, crazy playoffs, man.
I
It's
still
crazy.
can't believe Tatum got hurt. That is insane.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is that you were talking, Jeffrey, about how Ray Allen, like that Celtics team
Mhm.
back in the old days, man, that was like your favorite. That was like my favorite as well. You know, I actually went to go. My uncle who used to live in Boston, he was a huge fan, so he took me to a game, and that was like my first ever Celtics, like like NBA game. And since then, ever since were done, I don't really have an NBA team since then. Like I guess you could say it's the Bulls because I live in Chicago, but
Mhm.
like that team, man, was just beautiful. It was.
I feel like with the NBA, I mean, you do have people that love their team if they live close to the like where it's at. But like I notice with a lot of people, like they don't really have like a team. It's like you gravitate towards like a player or a group of guys that you like on a certain team. More so than you do in other sports. Because like my older like family members, they love like Michael Jordan, the Bulls. Like that, like I got no relatives that live that way up there in Chicago or anywhere near there, but they all love Michael Jordan and the Bulls, and it's like
Well,
why? Because they like Michael Jordan. I mean,
they're
it's
gonna love watching NBA on NBC next year because Michael Jordan's joining the team on NBA on NBC. So
I would be excited about that. That would be fantastic. But yeah, but go ahead.
Because it was like I'm just having an Eeyore attitude about not seeing NBA on TNT, which does suck, but I'm already feeling good about NBA on NBC.
Yeah, that'll be fantastic. I mean, it was. You had that classic music that they now use for Fox college basketball that was on NBC back then.
And Urinating Tree uses that music.
Yeah. I guess it's either public domain, I guess, or maybe he got the rights to use. I don't know, but that's funny on that. But yeah, I mean, like to your point, Burks. I mean, when I was a kid, like I mean, I live in North Carolina. I mean, I should be a Hornets fan. I mean, I don't dislike the Hornets, but I can't watch them anyway because they're never on TV. But like I watched the Celtics and I was like, man, I love this team. Like these guys are fantastic. I enjoyed watching them. I was like 5 years old. They were great. And I mean, I've kind of like always never like disliked the Celtics since. I still like them. But the thing is that like I don't like them as much as I did then, but I still like them pretty well. But people are like, why do you like Boston? I'm just like, because I like the teams they have. I mean, I have no connection to Boston at all, but you know.
Yeah, so let's now talk about Alabama. So that guy who decommitted from USC, is he interested in Alabama? That 5-star defensive end?
Well, he's from Alabama, so he's definitely interested.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was like, all right, and that's the thing, man. Like you in Ohio State, man. Like you guys just get all the bloody damn recruits, and it's one reason you guys get them is your brand, man. Like Alabama and Ohio State, man, that brand, those two brands. And people are always like, well, but Michigan, they have like the best brand in the whole wide world. They're like such a big. No, dude, it's not like that. Like those two programs produce the most NFL, talent, I feel, or like the most best NFL talent. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, those two teams are just going to keep doing good in recruiting no matter what. It's crazy to say it, but now, I have a question. How much do you guys think your NIL budget is with, like, you guys are, like, top 5, top 10? Like, what's your estimate? Like, where do you think you guys rank in that?
I have no idea. I mean, it's honestly a great question, and it's something that is a bit concerning because, you talk about Bama being able to bring in whoever they want practically based off the brand. Well, if money talks too much, I can't say that because there's going to be some really great players that Bama probably wouldn't have normally gotten that they're just not going to be able to get because of money. And, I mean, again, I don't, I'm not using what Curt Cignetti said as law because I don't know if Curt Cignetti knows either, but he listed his top 6 schools in NIL money, and Alabama was not on there. I forgot exactly all of them, but I know he said Oregon, and he said Texas, and I think he said Georgia, and I think he said Miami. Those were 4 of the 6. I don't remember the other 2. Texas Tech, I think he might have said. So, yeah, like, I don't think Alabama's top 5, not just because I'm, saying what he said, but I don't think we're top 5. I don't think, like, from what everyone's saying or rumored to know about, I don't think we're top 5. Top 10, maybe. But like I said, it does worry me in the future, though, if the NIL gap keeps going up, that maybe we'll start to lose some of those battles. I think USC was another one that might have been there. I don't know, though. But, it's just we don't have, I don't think, what the top have. But, I mean, if the rules get changed, it's not going to matter anymore, if they do put a cap on it. But we don't know if they're going to do that, so.
Yeah, Cantwell, the O-line man, he was actually the most interested in Ohio State, believe it or not. But, NIL money talked, and, he went to Miami. And even though he said, like, it's the connections and stuff, and apparently, but, like, that's usually what they say. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's the coaches and connections, it wasn't the money, Like, let's be real here. They paid him about $2 million, close to $2 million. For him, like.
I mean, I don't want to trash Miami, but why would anybody really go to Miami? Like, I know the weather, and some people would say some other things. I get that, but I mean, Miami hasn't been good in a long time, and they don't even play in Miami. They play in the stadium that's 40 minutes away from Miami. Kansas. It's a joke. Like it is
Hard
such
Rock.
a joke.
Hard Rock.
Yeah, I mean it's the dumbest location for a college football stadium ever. It is so dumb. And like I said, Miami hasn't been good in a long time. The ACC is not the conference to play in right now. Like the Big Ten and the SEC is where it's at, right? So like the ACC, Miami just not there, but yet they've got the Bucks. So like they're getting everybody they want, and they still churn out mid teams, which is what's so funny.
Miami, they'll fall apart against Pitt or Virginia Tech this.
All right with me. I mean, I'm not like anti-Miami, but Miami has done nothing to deserve being good either.
No,
like even their own fans know they don't. Like they're just a horrible program. Honestly, they are not good at anything in 25 years. I mean, like people make fun of like IU basketball or Nebraska football. At least, like I haven't like butchered their program like Miami's butchered their program. Like they butchered themselves, and they have everything. They got all this money, and yet they won't fix their stadium problem.
No,
they got all this money and they won't fix their fan problem. I mean, it's hilarious watching Miami games and there's no one there. Like the stadium is empty. It's absolutely empty, and that shows you when people say, "Oh." Fans showing up to the games and the amount of money they're spending on tickets, that helps NIL. Yeah, that's really helping Miami. I wonder where they're getting the money. Because it sure as heck is not fans, because they have no fans at the games. Anybody watch Miami basketball? Even when they were good, no one was there. Okay? No. Nobody gives a crap about Miami basketball. And the fans gave up on Miami football when they moved to Hard Rock. So again, their program sucks. It freaking sucks. And I'm not trying to rag on them, but they don't deserve to be good. Like they just don't.
Well, I mean, they do kind of need to be ragged on a little bit.
Fix your problems, Miami, and then we'll talk about you being fantastic again.
Like I still laugh at people flexing their cow win because College Game Day was there. It's like, yeah, I don't think that was the reason, but okay.
I'll say this, man. Yeah, no, you guys are good in recruiting. Same with Ohio State, but man, Michigan, man, like it's not looking good. We're like 47th at this, like in May, and we have like recruiting violation, right? Like we got it last year. So during this time, we're not supposed to like, be recruiting because we have like violations. And not only that too, but like we'll see in a couple, like in 2 more weeks, man. That's what all the Buckeye fans are waiting for is the hammer. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be real interesting to see what's going to happen. And they should low key put it on TV, honestly, like all the college football fans like that can like get like millions, like 10 million plus because all the Michigan haters and, just regular college fans like you guys probably want to know what the punishment is too. Who doesn't, So
I just think it's so funny when you talk about punishments, right? Because like in this NIL era, we basically had none because everybody's just getting away with everything. Yeah. Like you don't see the days of USC getting, gutted like they did in the 2000s or After Reggie Bush and all that, or Indiana after Kelvin Sampson, or Louisville after Rick Pitino. You don't see that anymore, like hardly ever, or even Memphis when Calipari left. But like now, like you don't have anything of that going on, despite tons of insanity happening. And then Michigan, like Michigan is just Michigan's got all this stuff going on, and it's like, what could they possibly be doing, right? Like to get in trouble in an era where everything's legal. I know the sign stealing, but it just cracks me up. I'm like, whatever, man. It just cracks me up.
I mean, I'm just like, at this point with the Michigan stuff, I'm just like, either tell us they're in trouble or they're not in trouble.
All this stuff is insane, man. Like this stuff's getting dragged out, and like when Kelvin Sampson did his stuff at IU back in 2008, like it was swift. Like, oh, they fired him, and then they gutted Indiana, and it was like, yeah, you're not going to have any players for 3 years. You're not going to be able to make the tournament for 3 years, which how can you make the tournament when you have walk-ons? So it's like, yeah, Indiana was destroyed. And since then, they've still been garbage. Like, I honestly think the Kelvin Sampson stuff hurt Indiana more than firing Bob Knight. I really think that hurt more because Kelvin Sampson, if that hadn't happened, would still be coaching in Indiana basketball. And Indiana basketball would still be one of the best programs in the country. But all that happened, and then every coach they've hired since, except Tom Crean, who was mid, has been complete trash. So, like, yeah, Indiana got axed by the NCAA, and it was swift. Whereas this Michigan stuff just drags and drags and drags and drags, and it's dumb. Because it's like, if you know that Michigan's guilty, just get it over with, whatever it is. Like the punishment may be, but it's just dragging it out. People get sick of that stuff. People's attention spans are so short these days, a lot of people forget. So it's like, if just saying the Indiana stuff had dragged, then their program wouldn't have got gutted the way that it did. But the NCAA used to be swift back then when they wanted to be. Now they're slow. Now nothing gets done. It's like the DMV. You're in line for like 8 billion years.
I think honestly, they've been saving the announcement for a slow news day. That's what I think it is.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, no, if you ever say the hammer to the voice of college football Michigan, oh my God, man. That chat will just kill you. Go say it to your guy, Moose, right? Oh my God. He's going to go like ape mode, man. Like, I don't really care at this point, man. Like, whatever happens, dude, like, listen, man. Our athletic department has the most scandals out of any university, unfortunately, right? We've had too many scandals, man. Like, you just cannot, like, and what I really hate is this is what it is, but you just got to move on. People are still talking about it, and, it is what it is, dude. Like, and what I just really hate is, like, they blame the fans on, like, oh, the fans did this, No, the fans did not do it. It's a damn stupid administration. That's what I'm saying.
Right?
That's what's pissing me off,
funny. You're going to blame the people that show up and watch your games. Like, come on.
Exactly, dude. That's what's
that
pissing
is so
me
dumb.
off.
That'd be like, like a grocery store is like in bad shape, and then like this is the customer's fault. It's their fault that everything's in shambles. Like, no, like the customer is the reason you're still in business. Like, you alienate your customers or your fans, you're going to lose everything. That's not smart. Now, Michigan fans, they're still going to show up no matter what. I mean, I'm sure some fans, even if literally the university took a complete dump on them, they probably still would go to the games. That they love their team that much, but I wouldn't. I mean, you're going to crap on me. I'm not going. I'm not showing up.
There's a lot of weird people there into that kind of stuff, apparently.
Yeah, well, people are weird, man.
I know, right?
I'm just saying people are weird. I don't get it. I mean, you do bad things to people, you should
don't ever go on Reddit because there's really weird people on there.
No, dude, Twitter is the worst. I don't even have Twitter. I went a couple of days to like an iPad of my mom's, right? And I'm like, not my mom, my brother's iPad. He had a Twitter. I just wanted to go search up like some Michigan, Ohio State stuff. Jesus Christ, man. Like, they say the craziest stuff to each other, man. Like, I could see why it's not even a rivalry. It's not even. It's like a psychotic like shit show, bro. It's like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try to stay off Twitter /X.
Same.
Whatever, as much as I possibly can. I mean, I'm on there to post junk like, hey, you know, we're going live, or you know, this is my thoughts on this random trade or this coach getting fired or whatever. But scrolling on the For You page, man, like you get some all right tweets from your cool followers, and then you go further down, and it oh my gosh, and then you just gotta stop because it just gets too insane. I mean, some of the stuff that's on X you can't even say on here. You can't even talk about it on here. That's how bad it is. But over there, it's like, it's fine. You know, it's all good. As long as you have like the filter on or whatever, where you know, like you can't see the sensitive posts or whatever, then you're good to go. But even then, sometimes stuff still slips through though. It's like, man, I don't know, dude. Like, what makes me laugh is when you'll see like a random person or whatever that they'll say like gets arrested or something for saying something on social media, and I'm like, that should be like everybody then. Like, if you're arresting that guy for saying something insane on social media, there's millions of people that do that. So how do you differentiate between the normal crazy people and the they need to be arrested crazy people? Because I can't tell on there, honestly. I can't.
It's a lot of crazies on social media.
The difference between the written word and like us talking here is that you can tell if somebody's being like sarcastic. You can tell like, hey, like maybe I say something ridiculous or Jackson does, but we know he's being sarcastic, or we know that he doesn't actually mean what he's saying. When someone just types something down and hits send, you don't know if it's satirical. Like, I know sometimes people put quotes on stuff to, you know, or they'll like capitalize a word or something to like just put emphasis, but they don't mean it. But sometimes I can't tell, man. I don't know if that person's like legitimately insane, like they need to be like locked up or something for whatever they're doing, or if they're just a completely normal person that just happened to say something bizarrely stupid for laughs. I don't know, because it's the written word. I don't know what their intent was. I don't know the inflection of how they said it. It's completely different. That's why texting, it's better when you're having like a very detailed conversation with someone to talk with them voice to voice, so you don't get like a misinterpretation from it being written down on a text. So many people have gotten into arguments over text because they'll write something and people take it wrong. Someone takes it wrong because you wrote it down and sent it instead of said it. I mean, I know it's a long-winded way to say what I'm trying to say, but yeah, that's why I'm not a big fan of the social media apps where you just write stuff, because of the fact that it's like you don't know their true intent half the time.
Oh man, it's like how cringe has the Ohio State Michigan battles have gotten on Twitter exactly, Berts?
Yeah, Troy V's correct on that. Always use LOL if you're trying to be funny, or like a laughing emoji. That's what I always do when I'm being sarcastic. I make it clear, because you don't want people to lose their just whatever. Yeah, I don't know. You don't want people going crazy at you over that. But go ahead, Bert. Sorry.
Oh, for Buckeye Scoop you're talking about?
Oh yeah, like
yeah, man, that's crazy. Listen, they have an addiction, but I feel like a lot of here's the problem, right, with Buckeye Scoop. They actually make a lot of good predictions about Ohio State football. There's a reason why they have so many followers, right? Like they have a lot of like subscribers and stuff, because a lot of their Ohio State football predictions come out true, believe it or not. You know, like they get into the news, like. But with Michigan, man, they're just like, holy crap, dude. It's just for like getting more views, I feel, and it's just more because I feel like they want, it's kind of like what Ohio State fans would like to know, and so that's why they're covering a lot of this Michigan stuff. Personally, I think it's just crazy, man. They really have like a Michigan syndrome, I feel. But like, just because you watch Scoop doesn't mean I'm not gonna I hate you. A lot of these Michigan people are now like our fan base, especially like on Twitter or on YouTube, they find out someone really likes Scoop and then they start not to like them. I'm not like that. There's a lot of people who watch Scoop. Let them watch it. I'm not going to judge anyone of what they watch. But yeah.
Well, people say crazy stuff or do like Twitter, like crazy thumbnails or titles to get viewers. Yeah. I mean, like that's normal. I mean, as long as it's not like there's a certain amount of clickbaity that I'm okay with, and then you get to the point where it's too clickbaity, then I'm just like, Nah. But I mean, yeah, like a lot of times, like Michigan channels and Ohio State channels, they do seem like they obsess over the other team just to get views. That's just the way it is. It's normal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't even see it as a problem. It's like you're trying to get views. What's wrong with that? That's what we're all here to do. I mean, typically I feel like me and Jackson, keep it more straight. Like we don't really do a lot of that, but we probably could, and we probably would have a lot more views. We're like, look at what Auburn just did. Oh my gosh, look, Auburn. Oh, yeah, I mean, we could clown on Auburn so hard, but it's just not really in my DNA to be like, yeah, Auburn sucks. I know they suck. I don't really have to talk about it all the time.
If he's on the school payphone again, we'll definitely be.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do that. Like, I have a thumbnail with like the phone and like a moderately, not insanely, like a woman that's not gonna get us kicked off YouTube. But
yeah,
point, okay, like yeah. I mean, some to the point, like we know what Freeze is doing on the line,
or Brian Kelly doing a stupid dance again. Like, we'll definitely.
I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with clickbaity stuff, but I mean, I agree with you, Birch, when it kind of becomes feels like an obsession, or whatever, or just it goes too far, then it's dumb. I do have to point out Bean's comment, though. What kind of generation alpha is Jeffrey promoting voice-to-voice communication? I was kind of acting like a boomer saying it's better to talk face-to-face. That's kind of what I was meaning. Like it's better to talk face-to-face or at least over the phone or whatever. I mean, you could do like FaceTime or whatever, but yeah, I mean, you got all these voice chats now, like Discord and even the Twitter Spaces and all stuff. You can talk. But, like some good old face-to-face communication, it works still. I think we can do that as a society. I don't know if we've lost that.
Yeah, they're going to, dude, the verdict, man, like either Voice of College Football Michigan's going to die or Scoop is going to die, like whatever the verdict is, because the trolls are going to come and just destroy. So, like, I can't wait for that, like, to see who is going to get, like, even for Twitter, too, because, like, Voice of College Football Michigan even said, man, they're going to be knowing all the names, the receipts, all this stuff, and they're gonna spit it out and just trash on them once like the verdict that nothing bad happens. But yeah, I'm just listen, man. I just want to move on from this crap, but like, it's
run its course. It's done. It doesn't need to keep being exaggerated. Yeah. I mean, the Michigan channel, I love TJ and those guys. One Scoop John Diamo. They're great. Right, they're great. I love going on the show when they invite me on. It's great, man. When I'm on there though, and I say anything, man, it's like I remember this past year, I was like, Indiana has a chance to beat Michigan this year. It could very well happen. Jeffrey, what is wrong with you, man? You don't know what you're talking about, man. Michigan's gonna win 40-0, and I'm like, I don't know about that. I think Indiana's gonna win 21-17. I think that was my score. I was pretty right. I was pretty accurate on that. But they thought I was crazy. And with Nebraska, I went on the Nebraska channel. I did with Justin over on Voice of College Football Nebraska. He does a fantastic job. But their chat, they had a couple people, like, oh, Jeffrey, how dare you pick Indiana to win? But most of them are pretty chill. But like Michigan, man, they were roasting me. Like it was insanity, man. I'm like, come on. Like I didn't do anything wrong. So funny though. I mean, I love it because it's great. Like I know some of them are just clowning around, but I felt like some of them meant it though. It gets a little scary.
No, yeah. See, I wouldn't do that. If you make like a prediction like that, like I wouldn't really care. But like, I will say the problem with our fan base is we're known for fighting each other. Like every damn chat, there is someone arguing with each other, trying to kill each other, man. And apparently, Moose is one of the people that everyone wants to fight with. It's just so funny.
Oh god.
Like,
do we really think Michigan would beat Indiana 40-0? Bean, do we really think that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not picking that game. We're waiting until we see these teams, but I don't know 40-0.
Oh yeah, what Troy said, Nebraska having the nicest fans. I agree on that part. Not even a question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Nebraska and even Wisconsin has pretty great. Those are like two fan bases.
Nebraska just wants to win. They're like Indiana fans. They just want to win. in basketball. And Nebraska wants to win in football.
they
They just
wanna
want to
do.
win. That's it.
Did you see the top 10 most toxic fan base list? Like this was like on College Football Elite. I don't know if you saw it. They rated like Michigan 10, Ohio State 1, obviously. They gave it a perfect 10 out of 10 score. They rated Alabama like 8. Do you guys agree with that? Like,
I think Alabama, when we were great with Saban, I think we had a lot of toxicity. I remember after we lost to A&M,
really?
that one year with the field goal in Kyle Field like 3 or 4 years ago, 41-38.
Yeah.
Alabama fans lost it because that was like the first game where you saw some cracks, even at the end of the Saban era. We're like, yeah, our dominance might be going away just a bit, right? And like I remember reading on the news that a couple Bama fans were so mad that one of them died. I'm just going to leave it at that. One of them died, and I was like, holy crap, our fan base needs to calm down. This is a problem, right? So after that, though, and we kept losing a game or two every year. Now we're at where we're at now at 9-3. Bama fans, they can still be nuts and crazy, but we've calmed down. We've calmed down from that. And now it seems like at Michigan, Ohio State, because when I was a kid, it was Bama-Auburn. Everyone was like, it's Bama-Auburn, best rivalry. Michigan, Ohio State, Bama-Auburn, like both are right there. Now everybody's like Michigan, Ohio State. And when you see like news of like fan bases and you see like headlines and stuff, Michigan and Ohio State are dominating them. Alabama's not anymore. So I feel like Alabama's calmed down, from being the worst. So that's probably why we're 8th. We probably would have been higher up a few years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah, really.
I think so.
So I'm looking at it, and Georgia is 3rd.
Yeah, and see, a few years ago, you could switch those. You could switch those right there. A few years ago, we probably would have been 3rd, and Georgia would have been 8th. But Georgia, now that they're winning, they've won 2 titles and all that, they've got real toxic. I can't talk with a Georgia fan hardly online because they think that they're so much better than Alabama in every freaking way. I can't even begin to talk. Like, it's a nightmare. It's like, Georgia, what have you done? What have you done in your history to think that you're like this rare air up here? Yeah, you're a great program. You're an elite program. But you're not even like the top 3, man. So I don't get it. Like they've gone crazy. Not every Georgia fan's bad, mind you, but there's a lot of their fans.
Florida State is 9th. Oh my god.
Yeah, and they stink.
Jesus
Probably because
Christ,
they stink.
Oh
Michigan was easily. I'm shocked Notre Dame is not on that list. And I asked the Notre Dame fan. I'm actually chill with Notre Dame fans. I live in the Chicago area, so and I asked them, and they were like, "Wait, what? Like, really? We're not like in the top 10 because we're known for fighting each other. That's what Notre Dame fans are known for, apparently." But because I watched this show called Always Irish, John Kennedy's show. I don't know if you know him, but I watch this show and there's always someone getting creamed by like a bunch of people. So I'm shocked it wasn't top 10. But
yeah, I could have seen Notre Dame there. Nothing against our good buddy Will, but I could have seen Notre Dame at the back end of that list. Bean says, "How is Florida number 2?"
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I haven't really gotten a lot of flack from Florida fans. So
Tennessee's at 6.
Tennessee could be number 2 or 3. Let's be real. Sorry, Tennessee fans, but they could be number 2 or number 3.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
They're rough, man. I mean, it's so funny. It was great, but one time, I don't know why this happened, and I didn't even hashtag them, but I did like an X post probably about a year ago. It was about Player of the Year. I said R.J. Davis, Zach Edey, Dalton Connect, and some other player. It was that year, right, in college basketball. And clearly we knew that the Player of the Year was going to be Zach Edey, right? We knew he was going to be Zach Edey. Tennessee fans rated my poll. All of them just retweeted the heck out of it. And Dalton Connect had like 98.8% of the votes in the poll for Player of the Year. And there were like 3,000 votes in the poll. And like the previous most votes I ever had was like 500. So like they rated my poll, shared it among Vol Twitter all over the place, just completely rated the thing. And like,
that's crazy.
Connect is by far the best player in college basketball.
Jesus Christ.
And I wrote a couple, and I'm like, you sure about that? like probably third, right?
Jesus
They
Christ.
weren't having it.
It's too funny.
I didn't delete the post. I mean, you'd have to scroll down about a year's worth of my posts, but you can find that. They rated that thing, and it cracked me the heck up so bad. I was like, I never had a fan base do that. So yeah, Tennessee, for better or for worse, you're up there, baby.
That's too funny.
I haven't even had Michigan or Ohio State rate one of my Twitter polls, but Tennessee did.
That's crazy. That's actually wild. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I had like 100,000 impressions on that thing. I mean, like, holy crap! I was like, that thing blew up.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get through this conversation without laughing, but I don't know if it was like, I know like Darrell said it to Austin and myself. I don't know if he said it to you, Jeffrey, but I remember where he talked about how he said that there's like a Tennessee fan like whining about how their matchup against an FCS team wasn't on ESPN2. Why is it on SEC Plus?
Because it's a nothing game. It doesn't matter. Like Alabama games like that are on SEC Plus. I don't watch them. I don't care. We're gonna win 60-0. I mean, to Troy's point about Sports J's great show, he's a Tennessee guy. I do know a couple Tennessee fans, a couple in real life that are actually pretty chill. So again, every fan base is normal people.
I Blade Orange is a good dude.
Every fan base is normal people.
Tucker
That's why when I trash like Georgia fans or Ohio State or what, even the Michigan crazies, I don't trash their whole fan base because I know there are good fans from every fan base. But there are just so many toxic ones in those few. Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio State, they're bad, like really bad online. But that doesn't mean that they're all bad. And like Godfather said, Georgia is a new one. They used to not be anywhere near this bad. They're horrible now. Like, they think, again, they're holier than thou, like, best team ever. Like, they're not even close to holier than thou. Half their team should be in jail. Like, there's nothing holy about that team. They're not better than anybody else. They got problems, okay? Georgia is not this perfect team at all.
Oh, man. Steve says he's part of the Buckeye.
Oh,
Colorado's
no way.
number 4.
Oh, my God.
Colorado's number 4. Well, we know what. One word. Dion. One word. Because Colorado was irrelevant.
I bet you all those Colorado fans don't even know about what happened in 2007.
They probably didn't even know the Colorado mascot name.
No.
They knew nothing about Colorado. I mean, there were some. It was sweet. I remember when Dion first got hired, and they were showing like this lady who was like 95, who was like a lifelong Colorado fan, and they, outside of like that year in like 1990 that they were good, they've mostly been garbage, right? And she was like, Dion's brought relevancy back to Colorado, and I got to see it. Like, it was sweet and it was cute, but it was like, dude, most of those people that were like, yay, Colorado, they didn't care about Colorado. They were just jumping on the Dion bandwagon train. And it's like, I had no interest in that because the media hyped that up so much. It annoyed me. It made me sick. I mean, when they were like, Colorado State is a primetime game. Everybody cares about it. Nobody watched that game last year. Or
yeah,
like
I agree.
the year prior to Dion being there. No one watched it last year. It was the one year he was there that it was new that they cared. No one cares about that game most years. The Dion effect got annoying. It did.
Oh, yeah. I was like, they were putting Colorado UCLA on ABC Saturday night.
Yeah. It's a joke, man. I mean, it, like, Colorado was irrelevant. Like, Indiana had a significantly better year last year than Colorado, and yet there were people saying that Dion should have won Coach of the Year. The only other coach that had an argument to win it other than Cignetti was Kenny Dillingham. Yeah. That's it. Now, it wasn't Dion. Like, yeah, did Dion and them do better? Yeah, but he wasn't Coach of the Year at all. Not even close. But, again, that's just the way that people were. You also have Texas on the list, too. We haven't talked about them. I mean, it's fair why Texas is there. But I don't think Texas fans are the worst. So, I mean, 7's fine, I guess. I mean, they got crazies, but I don't think, like, as a whole, they're near the top.
Yeah, I don't know the SEC much, so it's great that you guys are telling me this because I don't know how their fan base is. Because the only SEC fans I ever see in Chicago area are Alabama fans. So it's funny. And Ohio State basically got a perfect 10 out of 10 just because of after trying to kill Ryan Day's family when they lost the game. That just basically gave them that score. That's what I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Just the Big Ten better, Burks? Who would you name as the top 5 toxic fan bases in the Big Ten? Obviously, you're going to exclude Michigan. I mean, everyone's going to put them there, but you can exclude them. But
no,
what's your top
Michigan
5?
Would be top 5 for sure. Not even a question. If you want me to add Michigan,
you can
I'll
if you want.
Should I add Michigan in the top 5?
You can.
Sure, less.
Okay, cool. So I'll put obviously Ohio State 1 because like they're just so aggressive. They like it's like they're so like passionate that they put Ohio State like their identity, and I feel like
it gets culty almost.
Yeah, it's like it is no. Ohio State fan is a cult, dude. I'm sorry. They wear Buckeye necklaces, literally. They literally wear Buckeye nut necklaces. They do their hand signs. They do their OH, and then I say 1310. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they're just they have to be number 1. I'm sorry, and they're just super aggressive, man. Doesn't mean I love Buckeyes fans, right? Like my cousins and stuff went to Ohio State and stuff, so. But they're the most passionate by a mile, and that's why they're number 1. Number 2 would be probably Penn State for sure. Not even a question, dude. Penn State is they are literally like Philly fans, kind of, right? Like they're crazy, man. Penn State are and they're aggressive too. I'd put Penn State number 2, and then I'd put numbers 3. I'm actually gonna put Michigan State actually because I think they're just like super, super. Like I said, if I had to actually really choose, I'd probably choose Michigan numbers 3. Let me just put them numbers 3 just because they have a large following. And they are known for also like fighting, like people like online. I feel right. I'd put Michigan State 4, and then I'd put number 5. I would put because Michigan State. The problem is I'm putting them number 4 because they don't have a huge fan base. You know what I'm saying? They don't. They're not.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State have way bigger fan bases than
exactly. That's what I'm saying. And so those 3 are going to get the big. Those are the biggest fan bases: Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State in the Big Ten. So I'm going to put Michigan's 3. Michigan State. They're not on YouTube ever. There's nobody. I can't find.
Oh, they don't exist. They honestly don't exist.
Yeah,
I have
they don't.
A few
That's
Michigan State followers, but like the amount of people that show up to their games, I'm like, where are they?
Exactly. That's why they're number. They're not.
There's not a. 3. We don't even have a host for Michigan State at the Voice of College Football.
Yeah, they're like, and in their basketball program, they think they're a blue blood. No, you're not a damn blue blood. You only have 2 titles.
If Michigan State is a blue blood, then Indiana is surely a blue blood.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Oh man.
But I'm gonna put Michigan State number 4, and then number 5. I think I'm gonna put what's 5, dude?
You've got Oregon. You've got Iowa, maybe.
I think I'm gonna probably put. Yeah, no, Iowa's crazy, believe it or not. But I
like some Iowa fans, but I mean, some of them, for how mid they are, consistently mid, they are pretty nuts. I mean, I'm not putting. Oh, we should be in the playoff conversation. I'm like, with that offense,
yeah,
no,
really.
USC, UCLA, and Washington I'm not going to put because no one goes to their games, I feel. They just
Washington does have a good home presence.
Yeah, they do. They actually do. Now they do, yeah.
They're good because, I mean, Husky Stadium can get crazy.
Yeah.
But I agree with UCLA, USC that their home atmospheres are.
I think I'm going to put Oregon. I'll put Oregon number 5 just because, because they're big. They think like they're like Ohio State. But
they think that's what I'm saying. Oregon is nothing. Like, I'm sorry, but they're nothing, man. Like they haven't done anything. It's literally just Phil Knight. It's Nike. It's like without them, Oregon would be literally garbage.
Yeah.
Like I hate to say it, but it's just the truth.
Oh, you're welcome, Steve. I'm not hating on anyone. I'm just.
I don't hate the Buckeyes fans all the way. I like Steven Cherry. You're great. I like Troy V. You're awesome, man. A lot of you guys are great. It's just a lot of your fans stink.
Man.
It's not you guys. You guys are awesome. It's just
like
I don't like a lot of the ones on X, man. They're crazy, and I mean, like you can't say nothing about those Buckeyes. Nothing. Like if you say that the is dumb in front of it, then they'll defend the. Like, why are you defending an adjective?
Yeah.
Like I don't get why here's what I don't get. The state representative like saying like, oh, we're gonna call for legislation to ban Ohio State big games to be.
Here's the problem. The Big Ten signed a contract to be on Fox and NBC and CBS. CBS has the 3:30 game. NBC is the night game, but NBC has Notre Dame. Notre Dame has that Pacific contract with NBC, so that's why they get a lot of the night games. So guess what? The big noon game. Fox's big game is at noon because it's the biggest game in the afternoon. ESPN puts their big games at night. Fox puts their big game in the morning to get better views, better ratings, more money, which they made a lot of money on that time slot. And that's why Ohio State has to suck it up and just play the daggum game at noon. Okay, is it stupid? Yeah, we'd like to see Ohio State, Michigan at night and Ohio State, Penn State at night. But it's just the way it is. That is just the way that it is. It has to do with networking. That is all it is, and they have to deal with it. I mean, the fact that they're getting that upset about it, I mean, you think they'd be happy that all the eyeballs are on them when ESPN's got like freaking Arkansas versus like Mississippi State at noon on ESPN or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or like Oklahoma State versus Kansas State, like some mid game. And then Fox has the game. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be happy about that, right? But again, they're so delusional to the point where they want to have that night game. You're not going to steal it from Notre Dame. You're not.
No.
Sometimes in life you just got to deal with it, man. I mean, like that's what's so frustrating. They're so entitled that they think they can get whatever they want. Like, that's my problem. Like, entitlement is not a good character trait. That is a bad character trait. No one's entitled to really anything in life. You have to earn it. But, like, the Big Ten signed the contract. You're in the league. If you want to be scheduled during night games, then Ohio State needs to join the SEC.
Yeah.
I just don't have really any other words to say about that. I think it's stupid.
Yeah,
that you're mad about it.
It's like they're the state representatives. If I'm the state representative of Ohio, and this for any U.S. state in general, I'd be worried more about my citizens and my state, and worry more about the homes and making sure that every family's being fed. I'd be making sure that there's enough jobs for everybody.
Yeah, versus whether a football game is on at night or during the day.
Who gives a rat's behind what big noon kickoffs? It's like we need to note to self. I need to be see if I could reach out to those representatives about coming on to each of our shows.
If Ohio State's playing Penn State at 7:30, and then you have Alabama, Georgia at 7:30. If both those games are on at 7:30, that is going to eat into the views of that Ohio State game. But when Ohio State is on at noon, the ratings are so much better. That's why when you look at ratings for football games, Ohio State is always at the top. And those other teams are not. Because when you're on at 7:30, there's like 4 good games on at the same time. And at noon, you practically have 1. So you're being gifted where everyone in the country, I know prior to this, and I'm old enough to know, but I can remember prior to the Fox contract that where I live in the South, there'd be a lot of people that wouldn't watch one Ohio State game all year at all.
prior to that because they'd be on at night and they're going to watch the SEC game on TV at 7:30. They're not going to watch the Buckeyes. But now that Ohio State is on at noon with every freaking big game that they have, whether it's Indiana, Penn State, Michigan, Nebraska, whoever they play, it's always on at noon. Guess what? Everybody's watching the game because it's like, well, I got to watch something before I watch my SEC tonight. I got to watch something. So it's like, it's a win for Ohio State. Plus, when you're going on the road and you're playing tough opponents on the road, you're not getting their night atmosphere. If you're playing at Penn State or at Michigan at night, it's going to be significantly harder to win than it is to beat them at noon. And I know that you can say it's the same at their place, but Ohio State already has such a significant advantage with their talent. So it's like, it's a win-win for you to play at noon. It is a win. You would make it worse on yourself, Buckeyes, to play at night. Less ratings, less money, less views, and tougher atmospheres for you to win at.
Yeah.
Stupid. But do what you want. Do what you want. I don't care. But that's dumb. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. And Bean's comment about Ben will hunt me down. I mean, I'm sorry, Ben. Like I love the mascot at Oregon. I'm just saying Oregon as a program is not elite, and their fans act like they are, and I don't get it. But
oh man.
I mean, I'm just telling the truth. I feel. I mean, if it irritates people, I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm not here to appeal to everybody out there. I'm just telling you how I feel.
Oh man, it's like the top 10 toxic fan base is like, oh man.
Think about that though. The Ohio State legislators vote in favor by the Ohio State football program, right? And imagine you got the Dark Lord of the Sith, right? Being like, I'm the head of that committee. I'll own the state.
Oh Lord.
I mean, something stupid like that, right?
They're gonna barbecue you boys. That's what they're gonna do. Like, they're gonna barbecue that long hard meat.
I could go to them right now. And tell them that we're never playing a noon game again. I have that much power.
That's Caden the man. That's Caden the man right there. It would be.
The Dark Lord of the Sith, man.
Yeah, because he keeps saying that quote. He keeps saying it, dude. Palpatine's quote, man.
He has no power and influence over nothing. I mean, it just cracks me up. Like, he wouldn't do that. He'd be like, oh, I own everything. I got all these connections. If I say the word, it will happen as I have foreseen.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. It's just delusional, man. It is so delusional, but I love it.
Oh, man. Oh.
I mean, we're all in agreement here. That's the one thing, like, everybody can agree on. Michigan fans, Bama fans, Georgia fans. They don't matter. Probably Tennessee fans. You probably get them on board. That Ohio State fans, the crazies, are the craziest people. Thankfully, again, we got Troy V and Steve and Cherry. Those two, also Hummus Hero as well. Fantastic Buckeye fans. We love them to death. Appreciate them always for showing up.
Posh Doreen. She's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We got good ones, man, but the Ohio State fan base.
Oh man.
Oh man.
I can't wait to see whatever horse dung we see on social media real soon. It's like
it'll happen. I mean, it's the one thing, like, we're in the off season, man. When you get back to college football season, man, some of the stuff you read, man, I'd be like, oh man.
oh.
Just some of the stuff. I mean, you'll have like Indiana fans, right? Like, they have one good year in football, right? And they're just so excited. They're looking forward to this year. And everybody's like, oh, especially Ohio State fans, like, Indiana, crawl back to where you came from. Like, you're nothing. You know, you don't deserve to win anything. It's like, come on, man. Like, let the little doggy have his day. Let the I mean, Indiana's nothing. I mean, they were literally nothing, and like, they have one good year. Like, I mean, you got to let them have something, man. It's like Rutgers. I was happy for Rutgers, man, when they made a bowl game. I mean, I remember the Chris Ash era that a lot of people called something else. It definitely was very bad. His era of Rutgers football was some of the worst I've ever seen in my life, and now really? Like, they're decent. Like, they can win a game every now and then. So,
that Chris Ash era was horse dung.
Yeah, I know. Like just remove the H on his last name.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's
Bert,
what it was.
what else have you got for us this week, good buddy?
I think I'm done, man. I appreciate it. So it's getting late.
Oh,
for
you're
me,
welcome.
so.
Bert's put your Discord username in the private chat, and I'll add you on to the Jackson Discord, good buddy.
Oh, sure. I'll do that.
All right, man. I will say we're getting closer to kickoff, and in Jeffrey's time zone, it's going to be 1 minute away, and it's 99 days till week 0. Still 100
It's
days.
crazy, man.
Yep, there we go. It hit midnight in Jeffrey's time zone.
See, Jackson's treating this like it's New Year's. That's what Jackson's excitement. I love it. Like we're literally some random day, right? Like in the middle of May, and he's like, "Look at that, we're 1 day closer. It's midnight, baby." It's like, oh man, I love it.
There we go. Get the drinks out. It's like, there you go. Oh man. Well, Bert's, we'll definitely be seeing you soon, good buddy.
Yeah, let me just put it on the private chat. Just quick sec.
All right, man.
All right, cool. I put it on the chat, so that's my Discord. Yep.
Oh man, you must be in the Darren Todd's ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm on. But yeah.
Here we go.
Yep.
Here we go. Boom, you're invited.
All right, cool, man.
We'll be seeing you soon, good buddy.
Yeah, I'll send you some more Caden the Man, Mark Rogers stuff. It's crazy, man. I found some over the weekend, man. I found some crazy ones, man. Like absolutely like brain dead ones, dude. I feel bad for Mark Rogers. He did not deserve to like have this type of life, literally, when it comes to dealing with people like Caden the Man.
Like, no use for that, man. Like Mark Rogers is for sensible, smart, educated college football talk, the voice of college football, and yet you got to deal with guys like that.
Mark, he's nicer than me because if it were me and he's saying "f you" to me on like the day before Valentine's Day, I'd just been like, yeah, happy Valentine's to you too, big dick boy."
Dude, no, if Mark Rogers called me stupid and like moron and stuff, I would like actually like feel like the worst in the world. Like if Mark Rogers calls you dumb, like then that's like Jesus.
Yeah, but if Caden the Man calls you a 5-star dummy, then you know you're a genius. You know you got the right stuff, man. It was so great, man. Because I remember like Jackson was getting called it. Our good buddy Austin was getting called it, man. And finally, I got him to say it to me. And I'm like, I finally did something right. I did something right. I joined the Jackson and Austin club, man. Like, it's good to be called a dummy in that regard. It's good.
All right, man. Take care, man.
You have a great night, Burst. Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate it, man.
Oh, thank you for coming on, good buddy. Oh, man, that was Bert's the Wolverine on tonight's edition of the Alabama Call-In Show.
It's so funny, dude. I mean,
oh my god. It's like Kate doing this little dumb dig up. I'm older Uncle Lou. Uncle was like, okay, let me squash this bug. Oh man. And we got our last call for the night, and it's Austin Blaze from Sports Talk with Austin. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Jackson, Jeffrey, I'm feeling great. We got the two best words in the sport. Yeah, 3-3, Game 7 going back to OKC Sunday. You can't ask for anything better. The MVP versus the MVP. Who wants it all for a trip to the conference finals?
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. I mean, the Nuggets, like, I can't remember, Austin, when we did our picks, did I have the Nuggets going all the way?
So, you had the Nuggets. You picked the Thunder to win the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, I did. My bad. So, yeah, I had the Thunder winning that series because I had them going all the way to play the Celtics. All right. Yeah, you're right. My brain, I couldn't remember for a minute. So, I did have the Nuggets making it here, and I think I had it in 7. I think. So it's all working itself out here. If the Thunder win, then my picks were right on that side.
Yes. And Jeffrey, you remember, I know this is a football show, but I picked the Timberwolves to go to the finals, and you thought that was a ballsy pick. Looks like it's turning out pretty well right now.
Yeah, that was a really, really good pick. I didn't see it, but I mean, you think about it though, and you think with the matchups, right? Like the Lakers didn't have any bigs. That was a great point, And then you talk about the Warriors, right? The Warriors didn't really have great center play either. So I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, I was definitely wrong on that. And the Timberwolves, man. I mean, like people that bet them, like in the odds to win it all with the low odds they had to do it. And if they could somehow go all the way, that would be a big payout.
And I tell you what, though, if it's Nuggets T-Wolves, I don't care what my prediction. That's going out the window. It's Nuggets all the way. I don't care if my prediction is wrong. You never bet against your own team.
Yeah, and it's not looking good for my pick of the Celtics repeating because of Tatum. You can't take injuries into account. I never would have thought that.
Ooh.
Yeah, and this is just with the sports in general.
I'm toast. There's no way the Celtics are winning it at all.
Well, there is a bright side to all this.
What is it, Jack?
No big market teams in the Eastern Conference. No, Nets, Celtics are there, but if the Pacers are winning, that's really good.
Yeah.
There's no big market teams in the Western Conference. But I'm wondering if ESPN's trying to find their new sucker with the Timberwolves or the Thunder, to be honest.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. I'll say this. And this applies to college football, too. Like, no offense to you Alabama fans or Ohio State fans, but it's nice to see the small teams get a shine. Like, it's nice to see when a Boise State, when a Indiana, when a Colorado, when they get a little shine and get some winning going. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Alabama's winning, that's good for the sport, too. But when you got these small market teams making a little history, getting better, it makes the sports better. And this is for all across the sport.
Yeah, that's what made me sick. Like, Indiana made the playoffs, and so many people were just like, oh, Indiana, they should have never got in the playoffs. I can't believe this. It's like, why aren't you just excited and happy for a team that's never done anything to have their one moment of fame?
Actually,
what is wrong with that? Like, people used to love that stuff.
Oh, yeah. We actually heard one or two people say, like, do you really think Indiana would be in the playoffs? They were 10-2. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, they still would be.
I mean, Indiana would not have got in a 14 playoff. Like I told all these people, that they expanded the playoffs. Like, they got in the playoffs because they expanded the playoffs. Well, I understand but that's not a fair point. We knew Indiana would lose in the first round. That's not a fair point. They expanded it to 12 teams. That argument annoys me to death when it comes to who should make the playoffs. Because if it was a 14 playoff, Ohio State wouldn't even have made it. But they expanded it to 12. That allowed Indiana to get in. That allowed Boise to get in. It allowed all these teams to get in that didn't deserve to get in. But it's like they allowed that to happen with the expansion. And again, what's so wrong about a crappy team getting their one moment of fame? I don't see a problem with it.
See, this is where I have a bone to pick. And I promise this won't go off the rails, but these media heads, not you guys, you all are lovely, especially you, Jackson. You look wonderful tonight. But the media heads, I cannot stand listening to them sometimes. Like when Indiana was winning, it almost felt like they were waiting on them to fall. Like they were waiting. Like against Michigan, they were like, oh, this is the game, Kurt Signetti. And what happened? They won. And then people were like, Ohio State, here it is. This is where Signetti falls flat on his face. And Indiana, except for the turnovers, was pretty competitive in that game. But they made it out to be, Indiana sucks. And they shouldn't make the playoffs. And I'm just like, can you be any more biased towards one team? Like, come on now. Like, no offense, but like when it came to Alabama, they were trying anyway to sneak you all in. And I'm like, stop it.
And I was against
Alabama lost to Oklahoma. Alabama lost to Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. Get over it. Go ahead, Jeffrey. Go ahead.
I was against it. Like I had all these fans telling me like, "Oh, we needed to be in," and I was like, "No, I did not agree with Alabama making the college football playoff after that Oklahoma loss. I mean, it was unacceptable. I mean, you know, I agree. You know that Alabama is more talented than half the teams that made the playoffs, but talent alone is not what gets you in the playoffs. You have to win the games. You have to win the games. If it's based off talent alone, then you might as well just not play the games and just already go just put Alabama in the playoffs, put Georgia in the playoffs, put Ohio State in the playoffs, put whoever else in Texas, whatever, in the playoffs. Just put the most talented teams in and just forget about all the other teams. It doesn't matter. But like I said, it wouldn't have mattered if they didn't expand the thing in the first place. And like Bean said, if Indiana was 12-0, I'll apologize. Indiana's not going to go 12-0. I don't care what they go this year. They still deserve to get in because they won their games, no matter how easy they were, and they expanded it to 12 teams. If they hadn't have expanded the playoffs, then Indiana would not have gotten in. Fair and simple.
And see, this is the thing that irritates me too, Jeffrey. To that point, not to go off on a complete rant, if we're basing it off talent, then why even play the series or play the dang games?
There's no
Because
point.
if Alabama's more talented than Tennessee, then why are we playing that rivalry game? Just give Alabama the W most years and let's move on.
I mean,
right?
I've said that before. Like literally, if you just want to base it off talent, just put the most talented teams. Just go ahead and give them the spots and don't play the games. Like you said, I agree with you, Austin. You're right. I don't know.
And it's
so annoying. The media is biased. They always will be. I mean, I've seen like me and Jackson, I had a clip of this on the last show I was on last week, talking about Heather Dinish's comments about this year's Indiana. That phrase is bothering me so much because there is nothing, and I repeat, nothing about Illinois that screams this year's Indiana at all. At all. The only comparison is that Illinois is not a perennial power, and people think that they're going to crash the playoff party, which they might. But Illinois was literally a 10-win team last year. Literally a 10-win team, ranked in the top 25, won their bowl game, and yet, Illinois is going to be this year's Indiana. Literally. So you're talking about Indiana, who went 3-9 the year before, was complete trash. Then this year makes the playoff for the first time ever, and is ranked in the top 10 at one point. Just has an incredible season, incredible turnaround. But yet Illinois is going to be this year's Indiana. See that right there, that statement, it devalues what Indiana did. That's what it does. It devalues it. See, it puts it in people's minds that's not a big deal, because if Illinois does it, Illinois is this year's Indiana. Illinois can do it. Anybody can do it. No, what Indiana did was insane for how crap Indiana was prior to last season, how horrible they were. The fact that they did that is nuts. If Illinois makes the playoff this year, I'm not going to be super shocked.
And see, what I dislike too, and to your point, Jeffrey, is they like to put asterisks on these things.
Yep.
It's like, okay, especially when injury comes a part of it. Like, they'll be like, oh, well, we didn't actually get to see this team fully healthy, so we can't really know the potential. It doesn't matter. You fielded a team, and guess what?
You lost.
You lost. And that's the thing that bothers me.
I kept trying to tell Bama fans that year when Mechie got hurt. You remember that, Jackson, when Georgia beat us in 2022?
Yes.
I know for a fact. From the bottom of my gut that, yes, if Alabama was healthy, we probably win. We do probably win. But you know what? We didn't.
Yeah.
We did not win. Georgia won, and that's fine. It's fine. But it irritates me because I agree with you that it is always an asterisk. It's like, just take the L, man. Take the L.
And it's been done. It's across all the board, because let's say for example, I'm going to use the NBA again. Let's say the Knicks win it all. They'll find some reason to say that their title was not legitimate. Oh, they played a beat up Celtics team. Oh, they got an Indiana team who's not quite as good as the Celtics. They'll find something. And like in college football, why isn't no one saying this for Ohio State? Or why, like, really? Ohio State got to play Notre Dame in the championship. Ohio State's a more talented team. They're expected to win that game.
Yeah.
Seriously?
It's annoying.
Like, do you want a cookie?
It is so annoying. I don't know. I mean, people are going to do what they're going to do. They're always going to make excuses. They're always going to do stuff like that. But it frustrates me to no end, because there is always an asterisk. There's always some reason, rhyme or reason why the better team didn't win. When again, sometimes it's obvious. Like the Celtics. I mean, Tatum going down, I mean, that freaking sucks. But guess what? The Celtics were losing the series with Tatum. So it's like, I mean, if the Knicks win, they win. But I don't know. I mean,
I agree.
I'm an Alabama fan, and I accepted the loss to Georgia that year. I accepted it. But I had so many people in my ear being like, we would have won. And again, I can't even go as far as to admit that we probably could or would have won, but it doesn't matter. We did not win. There's nothing you can do. Human beings get hurt. We are vulnerable to injuries when we exert pressure on our bodies. It happens. Like no human body is not susceptible to injuries. It's just not possible for you to stay completely healthy your entire career when you're taking a beating. And unfortunately, Alabama suffered some injuries. We lost. It is what it is.
And what I'll say too to this, and then I'll get to my last question is, here's the thing. Even if the team is fully healthy, these athletes have nagging injuries, believe it or not. Like, no one ever makes it through a season fully healthy. Like, let's be completely honest. They have something. Their elbows aching, or their rib cage, they got hit the wrong way. Even though it's not broken, or they don't need to sit out for that week, they're still feeling that. That can affect. Like, look at Curtis Rourke, for example. Your guy in Indiana. We had no clue his knee was that bad until it came out. He was playing on that since week 3, was it, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I mean, practically from the beginning of the season, like week 1, yeah.
So basically, he never had a full healthy season.
No. Not at all. I mean, because you look at his stats when he was at Ohio and he ran. He didn't run at all this year. He was basically a statue. And, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just one of those things where, like if Curtis Rourke, like if his injury had have limited Indiana's season and they had gone 7-5, I would have been thrilled with 7-5. It's just I'm glad they had the season they had, but for people just to disparage it, it annoys me. Because I feel like Colorado, if Colorado crashes the playoff party, then it's great. Oh, Dion, it's awesome. It's amazing, blah, blah, blah. Indiana does, and it's like, screw you. You suck. They're trash. You don't belong. You're going to be 5-7 this year. Who cares if Indiana goes 5-7 this year? They made the playoffs. It was awesome while it happened. But yes, Indiana could have maybe even been any even better with a healthy Rourke, but it's okay. I mean, I saw Alabama fans saying this past year that, oh, well, we lost to Oklahoma because Milroe wasn't healthy. Are you serious right now? Like, are you legitimately serious right now? You're trying to use that as an argument? Like, Milroe, even if he's slightly banged up, he just kind of sucked, man, in the system.
That's the thing, too. Not to cut you off, Jeffrey, but everyone's banged up by that point. There's no one walking fully healthy. Like it's grueling.
I mean, you remember Ohio State. I mean, that Ohio State-Georgia game, and I defended Ohio State fans, but it got to the point where it was nauseating. But if Marvin Harrison didn't get Junior didn't get hurt in that game and didn't get knocked out of the game, they probably would have won, right? So it's like
they probably would have won all that year.
That's probable, but it gets to the point where people obsess over that, And it's like it gets old. I mean, it happens.
Never obsess over what could have been, what should have been, what would have been. Because if and when you do that, you let it consume you to the point where you don't even move forward.
Well,
Yeah, keep
and
moving forward, right?
Well, it's all in our human nature because let's be honest, it does consume us because if one or two things flip the other way, like let's say for instance Alabama Clemson, and then I'll get to my question here. What if Alabama doesn't return that kickoff? Clemson's 2-0 against you in the national title games. Saban doesn't have another ring.
There's a lot of things that could have altered history. Just certain plays, small things. I mean, that's like I said. What if the Kick Six didn't happen? Then Alabama beats Florida State. Maybe we don't know. I mean, we like
exactly.
You could go so many different directions.
It consumes us.
You
like
but
you sit
I mean, the thing is that there's nothing wrong to talk about it, but some people let it just completely just dominate their line of thinking when it comes to their team.
Yeah, and the thing is too, of course, like I think about a lot of the losses. Like I'm sure, like you do, Jack, and you do too, Jeffrey. I'm sure we all sit there sometimes on a rainy night and look back and be like, man, if we just would have gotten this game, or man, if this would have flipped on its head, we could have won this, or we could have been here. Like we all do it. We're all humans. We're not perfect, but it does consume some people sometimes more than others. But
yeah, I mean, I agree. There's nothing wrong to think about it. I mean, absolutely, I've done it. You've done it. We've all done it. But some people, like I said, it's like their entire identity to think that every single thing. What if it went our way? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. I mean, you could do that to the point where your team wins the national championship every year. If it's like an Ohio State, oh, if this had happened, if that had happened, if that had happened. It's not going to happen for you every time, man. It just isn't.
So, my one question I initially had before we got off on the tangent, sorry about that, Jack. So, Vegas came out with their over-unders on win totals for the SEC. Alabama is currently 9.5. As of tonight, are you taking the over or under on 9.5 wins?
I probably would very cautiously go over.
I'm going to say even. I think they get 9 again. I think, like, if I had to say it right now, I think Georgia will get you this time around. If I was to put a prediction on it, Georgia, I think maybe you all slip up to a Missouri or Oklahoma, and then possibly LSU or Tennessee would be my games I have y'all losing. I don't think Vandy gets you again.
Game worries me.
Yeah. I don't think Vandy will get you again. I don't think so.
I'm not worried about Vandy. I'm not worried about Tennessee because they're at home. I'm not even really worried about LSU. The games that worry me really are the road games.
South Carolina.
We don't usually lose at home. I mean, you look at our losses this past year; they were all on the road.
Well, and the thing is, the reason why South Carolina doesn't bother me is because that's going to be their homecoming game. I think you all still have a little bit of that Saban mentality in you, and you're all going to be like, oh, you want to make us your homecoming game? We'll give you something for a homecoming.
That's fair.
But I would say even, but if I was forced, I would go over. I'd be with you all.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's very close for me to be even. Like 9-3, 10-2. It's one of those two that I see, and it's tilting either way. I mean, right now slightly 10-2. I'm leaning towards that, but I could see it either way.
And the thing is too, if Kalen DeBoer goes 9-3 again, oh boy, I do not want to be in your fan base, especially if y'all don't make the playoffs. That's what I'll say to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said as well, the bigger problem is how they go 9-3. I mean, if they look pathetic like they did this past year, then he's cooked. But if they're really competitive and they play very well and they go 9-3, I think some would not okay with it, but they could let it slide again. But they have to look better than they did this past year. That is a requirement, even if they do go 9-3. But I think 10-2 is a must for DeBoer to be like long term, like he's still going to be the guy for years to come.
And last thing I'll say is, Jeffrey, side note, How about the Panthers schedule? You liking it, disliking it, and then I'll get out of your hair.
Honestly, I'm gonna look at it right now with you. I have not seen it yet.
Jackson is not very optimistic on his Titans. I tried to talk him into it, but him over here being Mr. Pessimistic.
No, I'm Mr. Realistic. That's what I am.
So we start with the Browns, or no, that's preseason. Okay, so regular season, the Jaguar. We start with the Jaguars. I mean, we could win that game. Maybe.
Pulling for Bryce Young. Let's go, Bryce.
At Arizona week 2, so 2 road games.
In the desert, ooh. That's going to be tough.
Atlanta,
the desert gets so weird.
Atlanta at home has to be a win if they're going to do anything this year. At New England, maybe. Maybe. Miami, Dallas, Jets on the road. I mean, these are all winnable games if they're an improved team. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think the schedule's not that hard, but I still don't think we're gonna make a playoff game though. I think if we're a better team, I could see 9-8. I mean, because like Tampa, it's a winnable game if we're better. The Rams are it's a winnable game. The Jets is winnable. The Dolphins maybe could be winnable. There are a lot of winnable games. I just don't see it because of the fact that we're not going to be all the way there yet.
Mm-hmm. So what the NFL decided to do for the Cowboys was the first half of our schedule, which I talked about with Jackson. They kind of gave us after Philly. They kind of gave us a welcome back, and then the last part they just punch us right in the mouth. Detroit, Kansas City, Philly again. We've got the Commanders twice. At least you all have got a steady, easy schedule. The Titans, their schedule's pretty steady. Of course, being the Cowboys, they gotta stack the odds against us, which we're used to it.
The Cowboys, man, have made so many mistakes with roster management.
I know.
I'm not confident.
And Jeffrey, if we get into that, we'd be here all night, and then Jackson would have to get a new narrator. So let's not do that. But Jackson, Jeffrey, as always, appreciate you all. As always, the Nuggets and Thunder are going 7. Go Nuggets. Let's hope we make another conference finals. I need something good in my life. Because I know the Cowboys are going to disappoint me.
I feel you, man.
But thank you all.
We got something good for you in your life in just a little bit, good buddy, that we're going to show you once you get off for a bit. Here we go. There it is. There's the link. Well, we'll be seeing you, good buddy.
Appreciate it, Austin. Hope you have a great night.
And we got the voice of college football social media all over just for you. The Ets account, where you'll get top-notch discussion, debate, and analysis with no off-season. Bid and spaz, bringing that magic on Duts Live. I gotta tell you right now, it's pretty wild over there. They got some pretty good takes on the Ducks. You got us breaking the fourth wall once again, right here on Alabama the Boys College Football. Garrison and Ryan Stanos bringing the magic on the Ohio State call-in show. TJ and Johnny Olden on the Michigan call-in show. Brian Moore on the Nebraska call-in show. The Memphis lineup. Much, much more. All right there. Then you got the Voice of College Football Instagram account. And here we got the Memphis offense. We got the top 5 non-con games. Florida, Miami, Notre Dame, Miami, Clemson, South Carolina, LSU, Clemson, and Ohio State, Texas. If you disagree or if you agree, comment on the post down below, right there, only on Instagram. And you got the Facebook account of the Voice of College Football. Matt Zimick and Ethan Inman on USC Primetime Live Wednesday nights, bringing that magic. Leanne Herring and Mark bringing the magic on the move. I can tell you right now, I made sure to do my part to let Paul Feinbaum know that he needs to be getting Mark Rogers on the Feinbaum show, but he also needs to make sure to get Leanne Herring on the Feinbaum Show. Because, as Mark Rogers himself said on February 24th, 2025, on the State of the Voice College Football address, Leanne Herring is the Patrick Mahomes of recruiting insiders. And then there's Mark and Cam bringing that magic on Hurricanes live Wednesday nights to a Miami Hurricanes channel near you on Miami at the Voice College Football. It's closer to 10,000 subs. And then you got Mark, Tony Girdman, and Steve Hellwagon bringing magic Wednesday mornings on Ohio State The Voice College Football. 2 more weeks will be that 6-year anniversary of Ohio State Buckeyes Live. And then there's the TikTok account. It's got 10 followers, but let's get it to 10,000 followers, folks. Let's get it on over. Click on the links down below. But if you don't see the links or if you missed it, I'm going to post it on here again so all of you can give it a follow. So come on in, check out the Ats account, the Instagram account, the Facebook, and the TikTok account. We don't really know how long TikTok's going to be on in America, but while it's still in the USA, give a follow to The Voice College Football. Check it out. Tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Publix about the magic that The Voice College Football is bringing you with 99 days left to go until the start of week 0 and 104 days until the start of week 1.
The list gets longer every show, man.
I do my best.
There'll be more social media accounts before you know it. Got to spread the good word of the Voice of College Football, even on TikTok, even that wretched place.
Oh yeah,
got to have something good on there, and Voice of College Football is it's a bright spot in a world of dark.
I bet I don't know if it's too late to rent the SpongeBob narrator, but I mean, maybe we could get him to do that for Nets promotions.
Yeah, it'd probably help your voice, man.
Yeah, because I mean, doing a lot of talking. It's like, oh man. Well, Jeffrey, what have you got going on in your world this week, good buddy?
Definitely, I say it every week. It's like a broken record at this point. But on my YouTube channel, Only Talk Sports, definitely going to try to get some content cranking back up on there. I've been staying very busy, so I've been having a hard time finding time to post. But I will be posting more videos and live streams on my YouTube channel, Only Talk Sports. Definitely would appreciate if you guys go subscribe over there if you haven't already. And also my X account that I do try to stay away. I do try to stay away from X as much as possible if I can. So, not to get too sucked into the mania over there. But I do post on X about our shows and also, various sports, news going on, my thoughts on that. Especially if I can't make a video on it, which I haven't been able to much lately. But definitely appreciate if you guys give me a follow on X and a subscribe over on my YouTube channel. And also subscribe down below to Alabama at the Voice of College Football. We're getting closer and closer to 3,000, trying to catch up to some of the other great channels here at the Voice of College Football, and we can't do it without you guys. Definitely appreciate you guys for being here tonight. It was an awesome show. Sorry I was a little late, but got here better late than never, and we had a great couple hours with you guys. Definitely appreciate it. Even with all the jokes with my hat as well, I appreciate that. It did not go unnoticed on my part.
There we go. But of course, you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979 on YouTube, where I'm 331 subs away from that magic number 1,000. And I also put out my 70th episode of the Jacksonium with Nathan Balmer Brown, the founder and host of CFB Mafia. We talked a lot about BYU football, the Big 12. We talked a lot about our dream realignment scenarios, what the playoffs are going to look like for the future. All of that and much more, all right there on the Jacksonian. And for more updates on what we've got going on Alabama at the Voice College Football or on the Jacksonian, or if you want to see my weekly calls on the Paul Feinbaum Show with a week answer full of surprises, check me out on Jackson VOCFB on X/Twitter and on Instagram and threads at JacksonJohnson543908. But if you are not comfortable with X or Instagram, I got you covered. I've check me out on Jackson Johnson 97 Blue Sky Social, where I put out my calls on the Feinbaum Show and Jack Sone episodes and the latest on Alabama Boys College Football. But before we go, we'd like to tell you how many subs we are at from 2,600. We are 17 subs away from 2,600. 417 subs away from that magic number 3,000. If you want to help us beat Texas and Oklahoma, this is the way to do it. I mean, yeah, Texas was the last team to win, advance to the playoffs, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Yeah, they were advancing. They went to the semis. They lost to the Buckeyes, but they're not. They have been in the SEC this long. You want to help us dominate Texas and Oklahoma? I can tell you this. Tell your friends, your family, the cashiers are published about the magic that Alabama Boys College Football is bringing you.
We got new videos like almost every single day as well for you. If you're not able to watch the full live stream, we got videos of breaking news as well that Jackson does. And also you got the primetime live show with Brady and Manny. And we got the Monday show that I try to make. But if I'm not there, then it's with Jackson and Johnny and sometimes me. I try to make it all the time me. I want to be there every Monday, but it's tough sometimes. But every Thursday as well, me and Jackson. Definitely appreciate you guys. We got tons of Alabama content coming your way, and it's going to get even better once the college football season starts.
Agreed. And you're going to love the guests that we will be bringing you all right here on Crimson Tide Live and on Alabama The Voice College Football. And if you want to listen to us, see what we have to say instead of just watching our faces, but you want to hear us, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Podcast, and iHeartRadio. Please leave a rating and a review. And of course, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss another video or episode of Crimson Tide Live or the call-in show whatsoever. And we will see you soon. And roll